Welcome to the Puck Daddy podcast with very special guest star, Coach Chippy.
Holy, let's go Chippy today.
Guest star.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he's been on every podcast if you guys didn't notice, but he's also getting pretty famous. Like your stuff's blowing up.
Toe drag release.
Is it? Is
It-
the toe drag release
toe
blowing
drag
as a toe drag release stuff?
The double dip.
The
I mean,
toe-
the
What did
style
he
and
do?
flow.
What did he do?
He double dipped.
He double dipped.
Don't think just
Double
flow.
dipped.
Don't.
All the catchphrases are really catching on, especially with all the
It's-
kids. Yeah.
I think you deserve your very own podcast. You end up just
Did
talking
we play
about.
the music already?
We haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, let's play the music right now.
Cue it.
Okay, I was like,
It's your episode. we do what you want.
with my hockey stick,
Whoa.
Gonna
make a real difference.
Let me just mute
Feed the
Jeremy.
poor and
Heal the What is it? Feed the poor and heal the kids?
No, yeah,
Heal
well,
the sick.
fair enough.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But I mean, heal the kids too, I guess.
Yeah,
If they're
I
sick.
like it. I like it.
If they're sick, not solve them.
Yeah.
So yeah, very special guest who
Very.
I'm honored to have. Like
Very
we've been
special
trying to
guest.
get you on the podcast for so long.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a
and
pleasure. It's a
it's-
pleasure just to be on here with the Puck Daddy crowd.
And the fact
Everyone
that
tuning in.
the fact that you flew in too,
Oh,
you
flew
flew-
in like
like,
big time stuff.
you didn't just join us on.
It was private jet stuff with Beebs. Like me and Beebs were doing a
Mhm.
little something there.
Like-
Pappy was on the line. Yeah, no, actually, if you guys didn't know, like Pappy, Beebs, and I, 3 weeks Cabo.
Oh yeah,
3 weeks Cabo right now.
Oh.
Pappy's out, so we're doing some
Took a
Cabo.
break
We're doing
from
some,
the
yeah,
trip.
we're doing some Beeb Poppy stuff right now.
it is nice that you could squeeze us in. You can do.
Yeah,
some
no,
skits.
I had to. I was like the Puck Daddy. I said, boys, hey, I gotta take it off tonight. I gotta take it off. We went hard last 3 nights.
I think they understand.
We're drinking a lot of water.
That's good.
And,
That's good. Stay hydrated.
Yeah,
It's important.
Pappy
Get the
Beebs.
biosteel in
Happy
you.
Beebs and I have been just really taking care of our bodies last couple days.
Well, I think they understand the kind of the social ladder. You know, it's like
Yeah.
Puck Daddies,
Yeah.
Beebs,
And so they're
and
like,
Poppy.
yeah, you have to get
right?
there. You have to go to that podcast.
Yeah.
And Bieber's like, maybe get me on one of these days. And I said, really
It's a
packed
tough
schedule.
show.
It's
It's
a
a
real,
tough show,
it's
yeah.
a real packed schedule right now. There's a lot of talent coming up.
Mhm.
Beebs, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pappy was like, we need to get on there too. And I was like, yeah, we'll get you guys on.
And
Don't
to
you
be
guys
honest,
worry, you know what I mean?
like,
Like, don't get worried
No.
because we're obviously gonna get you on. But
but yeah, I did mute my notifications because like they just kept on popping.
can
like,
imagine.
Please.
I
And
can
was like,
imagine. I can
Poppy,
only
relax.
imagine. I can only imagine.
Relax.
All right, you guys, quit messing around. Welcome to the pod, Chippy.
Yes, sir.
What was your claim to fame? What's the secret?
Oh.
You're just blowing up recently.
Oh, the secret? Like, the secret?
Keep it short, all right? One
The
sentence.
secret?
And cut. No.
Consistency. You
Yeah.
really want to know what it is?
Yeah, there's a catchphrase.
Show up every day.
I would say yes. Show up every day. Quality, consistency, and be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The,
biggest-
the good thing is people like you.
which is cool.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I
What-
feel like I try to be likable.
Well, I
Try to
mean,
be goofy. Like I
Don't-
think
don't try too
take
hard.
yourself too seriously. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing, like, if you're gonna be like for my realm, it's like I'm trying to make people laugh. So if I take myself too serious, then it's
Then
like
it's not as funny.
You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? So if I
Fair.
can be goofy, if I can have my hair flinging out the side, and I can just
you lean in.
You put on the
yeah,
persona.
it's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really it really is acting. Like it's really like it's like improv, like
You're
drama
being-
class.
You're being you, but you're being more of you.
Yeah,
If that makes
yeah,
sense,
exactly.
right? It's like
It's not really me, but it is. I guess it is all of me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It's like all of your most funny thoughts all at once.
yeah, like
Pretty much.
these characters that I just
Yeah.
make up in my head, and I'm like, oh, like let me.
One thing that
Switch
you
my
are really
language.
one thing you are really good at is driving home the phrases that you like to say.
Just
like
repeat.
You repeat like
Yeah.
style and flow, toe drag release. What did he do? What did he do? Right?
What did he do?
You've really nailed in people's heads the things that you like to say so that they can relate to it because you say it so often. They're like, I want to say it too.
And do you know why that happens? It's because when I after like a Leafs game per se,
yeah.
like I'll go right after the game, I run upstairs, and it's like, all right, I got my ring light,
Right.
I got my whatever, my style and
you gotta
flow hats, I got whatever I'm like whatever's gonna be in the video, whatever I'm featuring, I'll go up, I'll riff,
Yeah.
like, I'll just improv for literally 2 minutes, and I'll
Get in the zone.
just
right?
get in the zone. I'll just riff for 2 minutes, like, and then a lot of the time when I repeat stuff, it's because I'm trying to think of my next thing to say, right? It's
Right.
giving me filler. So what did he do? What did he do? I don't even know what he did.
Right.
He double dipped, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like the repetition is literally because I'm making it up on the spot. Like, there's no script.
Yeah.
So it's
It
like
makes
incredible.
sense because
Yeah.
you're kind of just repeating it as you're improving to think of the next thing to say.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's worked really well for you. One thing I was thinking you should do actually is when you do the Leaf reviews, every now and then you should throw in a green screen background.
yeah.
So
I
you're
need to
like
get one of those.
or
No, you don't need one. Your phone does it by itself.
Yeah.
Does it? Oh yeah, it does.
I'll
you
show
could
you.
just on TikTok.
Oh
you
yeah,
could do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But like do it so like you're in the dressing room.
The Leafs.
or
Oh,
like on the bench sitting down or
that's
whatever,
huge.
right?
That's huge. I need to get like a Leafs.
like just try
I
it
think
for
someone
once. See
sent
if
me a
people-
background. I think someone sent me like a Leafs background.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I gotta find that.
I think that would make it even more like
It would engage them in the scene.
more engaging.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
is like a Leafs. Like that's like strictly for my Leafs fans out there.
Pretty
Like,
much, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because the Leafs fans like.
Like me.
Yeah, exactly. Like Hayden.
Let's dive deeper into this after the draft.
Yeah, that's good. This is
We
what
got
I
to
wanna do.
kick off
This
the
is my
pod with a
episode. I
draft.
want to do a draft, and I want to enjoy this draft.
What are we doing today, Jer? What are we drafting?
We are drafting Canadian things.
Ooh, right on cue with our content. That's perfect.
Canadian things.
Canadian things.
So Canadian things is. Do we have any boundaries that we're setting on just?
Things, not people, I think.
Oh, okay. No, that's not fun. No, we can do people.
no, we got to do people. We'd have to separate that. There's too many.
Oh,
So-
but like, oh no.
Number one on my list was Wayne Gretzky.
Like, is
I
Wayne
had-
Gretzky a
I-
thing? No. Did
I
you
had
not
Drake.
take?
I had
person-
Drake. I had
Drake?
Person-
Bieber, like.
It's
Okay.
we're not doing Canadian nouns, okay? We're doing Canadian things.
I would say Wayne Gretzky is a Canadian thing because he has transcended his human form.
No.
Relax.
Are you? I'm not.
Relax.
He's that
So is
iconic.
Drake. So is Drake, though.
Not yet. Not yet. He's getting there.
No, Drake is bigger than Wayne Gretzky. Did you say Wayne Gretzky?
Canadian? Yeah, I mean,
Drake's way bigger than Wayne Gretzky.
he does. He's stuck to his roots and he sings about the six. And
Okay,
he
Wayne
claims-
Gretzky or Drake? Like, who are more people?
if you're going
gonna know exist?
Canadian icons, like in history,
Just
I'd
like
say.
Canadian things.
Okay, hold on.
Wayne
Let's not talk too much about the
'Cause
people.
we could
because
do that
should
another one.
That'll be the next
Okay,
draft.
okay,
Canadian
okay.
people.
Okay.
But you need to retag.
do that draft in the
Drake
future.
or Wayne? Drake or Wayne?
Yeah.
Let
I
the
mean,
people decide.
Currently, yes, I would say.
Like, if it's hockey, like so it's like we're thinking hockey, so like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna give anything away, but like, hockey audience would probably say Wayne, but the majority of Canada would be like, I guess Canada's huge and hockey's huge.
It
in
depends who
Canada.
you're
I don't know
pulling.
what I'm saying.
If you're pulling the 30 under, they'll say Drake. If you're pulling 30 over,
Age, yeah,
Yeah.
the age matters.
Also depends if you just don't like hockey, you're not gonna say Wayne.
and also outside of Canada, people would view Drake as way bigger.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good point,
True,
that's a point, yeah.
right? Like from like the U.S., they would think of
Yeah,
Drake.
we got Wayne doesn't even Wayne's not
they're
even
like-
on our panel. He's in the US doing his stuff, man.
That's a good point.
Wayne
eh?
doesn't
Yeah.
even Wayne's
sold
not
out.
even here, man. Wayne's like, yeah, I'm
he knows
out
where
of-
the money's at.
Yeah.
Wayne's on the beach in Cali, eh? He's not
Yeah,
even.
Wayne's
looking
like-
around.
Speaking of Wayne, did you see in the Leafs game his little ad hoc interview with Gord Miller?
I'm like,
I did
I was
not.
like, Wayne, like no one wants to hear you speak right now. Like I'm
I
trying to
loved
watch
it.
Oh,
I
I didn't
loved
like
it.
I didn't wait. I'm like, okay, Wayne.
Hold
Like
on,
it
what
was
what
kinda
was
fun.
said, and then we'll do the draft.
it was okay.
He was talking about like Gord Miller asked him about like Ovechkin breaking the record, and he said like nice things about like his Gordie Howe story about how when he's gonna pass his record. Gordie Howe messaged him and said like congratulations, like
He sent a letter in the mail, or like because like,
I think it was messenger pigeon.
we weren't texting back then,
Wait.
were we?
Well, it was just like
There's no
Wayne.
text
It's like Wayne. I'm
messages.
trying to watch the game. Like, I get these guys are trying to announce the game, and all of a sudden Wayne's like, we're watching. I'm trying to watch Pappy rip one or who.
What I thought was
Oh,
the
it was
most
mid game. It
was
wasn't
mid-
mid
intermission?
game, man, and it was like during the. I'm like, okay, like me and my dad are sitting there, like, okay, Wayne, like, relax, man, like.
well. I thought it was funny because I just
He
I
snuck
was-
in, right?
yeah,
he snuck
well,
into
he
the
was
booth.
he was trying he was trying to get in, and no one was letting him in the door. And then some guy said that I'll let you in because I liked your dad.
Oh,
Your dad was really nice to
Yeah,
me.
it was funny. It was a funny little cameo, but
That's that. All right. I mean,
it
that's
was okay.
all right, he's doing something different.
Chippy
I like
didn't
it.
like it. I liked it because I was like, this game is boring in the first period anyway.
But it wasn't boring listening to Wayne babble on. I'm trying to hear the intense game going.
I was
on.
honestly waiting for a goal to happen, and then they have to interrupt him with, "Oh, and
Yeah, exactly.
and Ovechkin scores."
No, it was just funny because these guys are trying to do their job. These guys are like trying to like announce. And then all of a sudden we got this. I guess it was a fun little because Drake does that sometimes. for
I've
the
seen
Raptors.
worse things at a hockey game during the announcements, like the play-by-plays going on, the color commentary, and the guys just like stop. I remember there's this one clip, and they're talking about like the amount of slushies sold in Winnipeg, and they go on about it for like 3 minutes. I'm like, guys, there's a hockey game currently happening. It's your job to say what's happening in that game. And there's even like a scoring chance, and they just kept on
And
talking.
these guys are just like talking about something completely
Yeah,
offside.
they just
like,
completely went off
Don't
topic.
you really like slushies though?
I do, but
Blue?
time and a
Blue or
place.
red?
All right, time and a place.
Blue all the
Whoa,
way.
hey, hold on, Canadian things. 1 second.
Is the slush puppy Canadian
Well,
exclusively?
we can get into that. You're gonna be the.
All right, okay, we got to talk about the draft. We
We're
just
doing the draft.
babbled on for well, Wayne. My bad.
10 minutes in, and we're just getting to the draft now. Let's go.
All right, rock paper scissors.
You two are gonna do it. I'm
Ready?
not participating in this one.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, that was terrible.
What are you guys doing?
That was.
Is it shoot? We're going on.
No,
shoot?
no,
No,
it's not
rock paper
shoot.
scissors.
Okay.
You two.
Rock paper scissors. Gotcha.
Okay,
Jeremy
perfect.
won.
Because-
Jeremy gets first pick. You
Ooh,
went
this is-
rock
this
rock
is-
over paper.
This is really challenging,
First overall.
and you have to be the judge because maybe I'm picking off course, but I mean I'm just gonna say hockey. First overall.
Is that? I guess it's a thing.
Is it a thing, or is it?
It's an activity. I don't know.
Okay, well, it's good.
It's ki-
I'll count it.
It-
We'll count
Honestly,
hockey?
that's a great first pick.
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
that's solid. It is, I guess, a thing. Lots of things are things.
Should we say it again for the clip? You can introduce the topic, and then I'll make my draft.
Yeah. Let's do this. This is
All right.
this is strictly for the TikTok right
We're
now.
cutting this up for TikTok, so we got to make it good.
All right, drafting Canadian things. Jeremy, first overall pick with.
Ooh. I got to take. You know, we're a Canadian podcast. I'm going with hockey.
Ooh,
I
okay.
like it. That's a
yeah,
great
that's
pick.
good. Yeah,
That's a great pick. You can't argue with
No.
with hockey in Canada.
yeah, that's.
You know what I
solid.
mean? Sidney Crosby. You can throw Sidney Crosby in there. Wayne Gretzky is part of hockey, so that's a great pick. Like I would say that's a phenomenal pick.
And then now Chippy, this is when he says, "But not as good as my first pick."
But I need something that can compete with hockey.
Mm.
I think mine. I'm going a little catering towards maybe non-hockey fans, but more of Canada in general. I have to pick maple syrup just
Oh.
because it's such a big.
Okay.
I have to compete with hockey there, and I think maple syrup is gonna,
It's definitely.
we don't bring him out that often, but when we bring him out, we love when he's out.
Yeah,
Shout out to Bread Basket. Shout out to Bread Basket.
yeah.
I have to 100% agree with that. With the maple syrup pick, great first overall. You need a food item on there. I'm gonna go with my second pick. Have to match that food item. I'm going with poutine.
Ooh,
Poutine, another food item.
That's a great pick.
Poutine's a great guy. He's a.
Yeah, no, poutine's like,
You run into poutine at a truck, chip truck. It's just a. It's just
and
a
I don't
win.
think you order
Not me
poutine
personally.
that often. I don't think Canadians like it's a staple, but I don't think it's playing a lot. I think, but when you do play it, like when he does get on the ice,
Power
like
play.
he does
Special
yeah,
teams. Special
It's a
teams.
special teams player. That's definitely a special teams player.
Well, and you pair it with hockey. I mean,
Pair with hockey,
It's got the secret sauce.
that's
when you
great.
Need it, yeah.
That's great. So I guess to
Chippy,
compete,
second pick.
I got to compete with that, right? I got to compete with
I think you need.
poutine.
Yeah.
I already have a food category.
Are you
think-
going two food categories right off the
I don't
top?
think so. I think I gotta do. I think I'm gonna take the moose. Just because it's so
A
Canadian.
moose.
A moose.
Okay.
A moose. No?
that's a.
I mean,
Is
yeah.
A moose is that not the most Canadian
I
thing
could think
ever?
of a few players that would go ahead of him in the draft, but I like it. I guess.
I disagree. I mean, the moose is a strong,
strong
must be the
set.
strongest.
I think that's it's a strong. It's a strong
it's like
animal.
the elephant of the north.
Oh, have
It
you
is.
seen? Have you seen? Are
The
they
antlers?
mooses or meese?
Of course.
Have
it's
you seen mooses run through the snow? It's crazy.
I've never seen a moose, but if you see, it's a very spiritual thing. I think at number 2,
That's a solid pick.
having a strong animal.
I'll give it to you. That's a good one.
Hard to
Yeah.
go wrong there.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Jeremy, third pick.
I'm just gonna come right out and say it. The flag.
Okay. I mean,
Canadians.
nothing more Canadian than the
It's-
Canadian
it's
flag.
the Canadian flag. It's ours.
That's a sleeper pick.
Yeah, that is. I would
feel
say
like
that 3. That's
I wouldn't have thought of that. Honestly, I don't know
sleeper.
why.
It's a
but-
sleeper.
yeah.
That's a very sleeper. That's a great a third round pick. Like
we got some poutine, a Canadian flag, and some hockey.
Unreal.
I'm feeling very patriotic right now.
that's
Yeah,
great.
Chippy, I think you need a bit of a comeback here. You got 2 M's, maple syrup and moose. Are you going to go for a third M here?
I was gonna say A, but
Oh,
does A is A?
Oh, just
I will
like
allow that.
Are we gonna allow that? Are we gonna allow that? Like, is there no flag up there?
No, no,
EH A.
Yeah,
Hey.
hey.
Yeah.
A?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at number 3, that's a little bit of a steal.
Do you have the exclamation mark on
I have
that as well?
A question mark. I have a question
A
mark.
question mark.
Canadian, eh?
That's different.
A?
yeah, that's
yeah, it's,
different. So,
A?
Jeremy, you could go A exclamation mark.
No, no.
like I feel like A might be the most Canadian thing ever. I say it all the time. Like
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
A, like you just kind of say
I know, eh?
A.
I think we go full draft on just Canadian
Sayings.
buddy, pal. You know?
Yeah.
For this, I'm gonna allow it though
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
thing because
okay.
it is
Okay, I really
the
like that.
saying.
I thought that was that was a creative one.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there.
10 out of 10.
Ooh, this is tough for me. I've got a couple lined up, and I think I'm gonna have to go with the toque.
The toque. For you American people, that's a beanie.
It's
That one plays a lot. Like that
it's-
one plays a lot, especially in the winter times. That one's playing a lot. Like, that's a great
Like
pick.
about 3/4 of the year that's playing.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
And to be honest, some people wear it even in the summertime. Just it sits on right on top
I do.
there.
I wear toque year round. I'm a toque year round guy. I think that is playing a lot more. I think that's a new fashion trend here as well. So
Thanks to you.
I think I think that's a great
Not only
selection.
not only does it get a lot of ice time, we're gonna say ice time here.
Yeah, ton of really good endurance.
Also, it's got its own nickname. In Canada, it's the toque,
The toque.
right?
It's
It's the toque.
It's the toque.
It's earned its own nickname.
Canadian toque.
Yep.
Wow.
I like it.
I like it.
Alright.
I have to pick. So I have to do something that's going to compete with that. I'm gonna have to go. Like I don't want to double up on the animal, but I think I have to. I think I have to go with the beaver.
I saw it coming.
I think I got to go with the beaver.
That's a
Like,
good
I feel
pick.
like I don't want to do.
But like
I do,
people
but
think of it and you think of
you
Canada,
know,
you
a
think of the
beaver. That's very Canadian. It's on the nickel. It's on the.
Yeah.
You got the coins. Yeah.
You went to grade 2 elementary school. You'd know
Yes.
that one,
Now,
right?
technically, the moose is not on the coin. It's a caribou.
Is it
But
caribou?
I feel.
No, the moose though.
I don't think
yeah.
the coin matters. It's just that
No,
people
no, like a
associate the
moose,
moose
like-
with Canada.
Is-
oh, for sure.
Are
Yeah.
moose even outside of Canada?
Guys,
They're-
you're
it's
missing out on one thing, and I'm so shocked that you haven't picked it yet.
It's
But I have like some really good.
You each
sleeper
have one more
picks.
pick. If you don't get it,
I
I'm
have
gonna-
some good sleeper picks that I'm really wanting to
Okay.
see. Like,
I mean, I kind of want to go an animal here because I haven't picked one, and I do have a food item, but this is. I mean, this is really tough.
There's so many Canadian things.
Yes.
What
we
will
could-
it be
we
for
could have done top
Jeremy's
10.
last pick, 5th on your list?
I'm going with a classic, and I
feel
don't
like I know
care.
what this is
I
gonna
am
be.
I am missing out on a few here, but I'm gonna go with double double.
oh, okay.
Double double.
The
Okay.
Timmy's double double.
I was gonna say Tim Hortons, so like that's Tim Hortons.
Okay.
So double.
Yeah, I feel like like double double is
it
very
has to be.
specific.
It's Tim Hortons double double, right?
Like I would put Tim Hortons over double double because
So that's why I was really gonna like. I
Right.
didn't want to draft Tim Hortons. Like that was like I have some sleepers that I wanted to like not draft, but like
Right.
I'm gonna give you Tim Hortons with that. That's a double
that
double.
counts as Tim Hortons. You won't pick. Yeah.
Double double has the agility. It can play in all kinds of areas.
So
you know?
it's
you
up
don't
to you.
have to
it's
be
up,
Tim
it's up to
Hortons.
you. It's
You can have a double double at home, right?
and I'm gonna argue. I think your point would be stronger with Tim Hortons as a sidekick. But if you don't want Tim Hortons,
I'm taking the double double.
okay.
It's colloquially, I feel more. Is it more Canadian?
Like for me, I had double
No,
double.
Tim Hortons is more Canadian than double double. No
no
shot.
question.
Yeah, no
about it.
question.
I'm gonna give you Tim's. I'm gonna give you Tim's. I'm not gonna draft Tim's. I'm gonna leave it undrafted. If you,
And if you don't pick the one that I'm thinking of, I'm gonna be livid.
oh,
This guy is a Canadian staple. I can't believe you guys
Canadian
haven't picked him.
It's tough.
staple, like this is.
I mean, I'll go over my undrafted list after, but yeah, I feel like I just want to take double double over
It-
Tim Hortons.
okay.
But does Tim Hortons count as a
I'm
thing?
not gonna draft Tim's because we already kind of talked about Tim's, and I think Tim's, to be honest, gets a little too much play.
Oh,
Mm.
I think Tim's gets
gets
too
a little
much
too much ice time, eh?
too much ice time. Yeah,
Gotta
I think we
reduce-
I think we
reduce
gotta
the
reduce some minutes. I think we're gonna cut some minutes on Tim's.
Take him off the penalty kill. Put him
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
third line, maybe. Yeah.
He's gonna play some fourth line minutes now. He's been in the limelight. He's getting older,
Oh yeah.
and
All right, what's it gonna be with the last pick of the draft, Chippy?
this one's tough, but for my Canadian, this one's just so Canadian that like I know has to be drafted at. This is I would say this is a sleeper pick.
Okay.
This is bagged milk.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
bagged milk.
But that's not. That's
It's-
more of an Ontario.
No,
it
it's
is.
but it's just a Canadian
It
thing.
is Canadian.
It's
You're
so
right.
Canadian. It's insane. Like I did like I did a milk thing, and it was like, what's this bagged milk? Like, what the hell is that? Like, what is bagged?
It's
Bagged milk's perfect.
I give it to you.
what
That's
it
a bit
is.
of a sleeper pick.
It is a very sleeper.
I
pick.
cannot believe you guys didn't pick what I'm thinking of.
Ketchup chips.
No, well, that's a good one. But
Yeah, I had ketchup chips.
I had
there
that in
too.
the back of my mind as well. But no, snow.
That's
I was gonna say snow, but
It's right
snow,
here.
but snow is so like
Snow.
snow.
That's
but
Canadian.
snow's in Alaska. Snow's
Okay,
in,
yeah, it's not
it's
exclusively.
not exclusively Canadian.
But think of everyone that like stereotypes Canada. Oh, they live in the
Yes,
Great White
igloo.
North.
I would have
snow-
said igloo.
Snow
I should've said
igloos.
igloo.
I mean, snow was on my list. It just dropped below the double double. I mean, maybe I should have taken snow, but
I think snow is an easy like top, like second overall.
all right.
Ooh, okay.
Well,
We'll have to let
break it down.
let's break
All
it
right,
down.
we got Jeremy with the hockey, the poutine, great player, the flag, the toque. Oh yeah, and the double double.
That's a solid.
That's great.
I feel that's solid. And
I give that an 8.8 out of
That's
10.
a-
you know,
yeah.
Snow didn't make it on the team because I did have hockey, and with hockey we do have the ice and we have that coldness, right? I didn't want to have.
He's making the sales pitch, folks.
I think I think it's a great. I think there could have been like
there was a couple that could have been swapped in, but it was solid. And then Chippy, we got maple syrup,
huge. Okay, let's
Moose.
just thought maple syrup is huge.
eh? And then beaver and bagged milk.
I mean,
I feel like bagged milk and beaver are a little weak to round out the bottom of the draft.
As far as your starting lineup goes, it does seem
maple syrup, moose, beaver.
I don't know. I'm the judge here, and you guys listening can judge as well.
Let us know in
But
the comments.
I think that
Because I'm gonna
Just-
argue Tuke is interchangeable with
If I'm-
with non-Canadian. I'm gonna argue that Tuke's weak. Tuke is very weak. If I'm gonna be
Honestly,
honest now,
if
if
I'm-
I'm gonna be honest now, Tuke is so weak, it's insane.
I just
The
think
Canadian flag is weak as hell too.
no.
The Canadian flag, that's
no,
weak.
sorry.
That's weak.
no,
You
there's
cannot
not-
say.
I can't believe
Jeff-
that you think the beaver and moose and maple syrup and
Chippy is
this
livid. I'm
This
just
is an
gonna-
unbelievable
coming
list.
down.
I've
He's
developed.
coming
Mute
down.
your voice here.
Unbelievable list.
Just
Unbelievable list I've developed here, and to hear what would you say was weak? Bagged milk is weak.
bagged
That's
milk.
the most Canadian
is
thing
weak.
I've ever heard of.
It's regional.
Versus Tuke
It's only
versus Tuke.
Talk about Alberta. They have carton milk. They don't have bagged
yeah.
milk.
It's
over
an
there.
Ontario and more of an East Coast thing.
What's a Tuke?
Everyone in Canada knows a Tuke.
Everyone in the
Yes.
world knows Tuke.
No.
That's
not
not Canadian.
It's very
Yeah,
That's
Canadian.
not Canadian.
No,
Bagged
no.
milk is only in Canada. Like you cannot get that outside of Canada. A Tuke you can get outside of
But
Canada.
it's called a beanie.
The term Tuke.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Jeremy
What
wins.
about A? Oh my goodness. All right, people. Everyone, please. I'm getting teamed up on this. Is 2 times in a row where I've clearly won the draft, and this is ridiculous. I
respect
can't
your
even
team.
play in this.
Chippy's
league
gonna win
anymore.
just because he's got the toe
No, I
drag
can't even
release
play.
crew to come
I
and
can't
vote.
even play in this league anymore with this kind of bias, and it's insane. Tuke over Tuke is weaker than every single other pick. One of my picks. Tuke is weaker than every single one of those picks.
That's his 4th overall pick, though.
I just feel that.
What's my 4th overall? What was my 4th overall?
Beaver.
But you had the
Beaver
moose.
or
You
Tuke?
had the
Which
moose.
one's more
You
Canadian?
had the moose.
I'm just saying, overall, I like Jeremy's more. So
I think there are beavers.
do
outside
what you will
Canada.
with it. Audience, maybe you disagree. Maybe
Disagree
you're
with
on
that. Audience definitely disagrees with that. Audience most definitely disagrees with that.
Chippy's like the irate coach that just
Now
his
you can
team-
see
his
why they
team
call
let
me
him
Chippy.
down, and he's
Can you
he's
tell why
trying
they
to-
call me Chippy now?
Chippy's blaming
Does
the
Chippy
refs,
like to
blaming
lose?
the
Does
other
Chippy-
team.
Does Chippy like to lose? Absolutely not.
Let us know in the
Especially
comments.
when
Let
it
us
should
know in
be
the
a W.
comments.
Especially when it should be a W.
Let us know in the comments who had the best
That's
team.
unreal. I'm actually livid right now. I don't know if I can finish this podcast.
I'm just saying that your team
That's
lacked a little
insane.
depth. That's all. Just a
My
little
team
bit
had
depth.
more depth than my team could be in a river and crossing it like a moose or a beaver. My team is building
Chippy's really
dams.
passionate.
My
about
team is
this.
building dams so we can have fresh water. Like my team's doing so much for
Are you
Canada.
a beaver conservative?
My team's doing so much.
conservationist?
No, beavers save lakes. It's doing so much for Canada, and for beaver to get the disrespect it got today is unreal.
Okay, anyway.
Could one of us drafted Canada? Just
The
the country?
Canadian thinks no, that doesn't count.
Well,
too-
you drafted
too
the
much.
Canadian flag, like
That's very Canadian. It represents. It's the symbol of our nation.
Is it
So I
though?
just thought that was pretty Canadian.
Is it though?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's more Canadian than any
Who
other
decided
flag.
that? Who decided that was going to be our
I think
flag?
it was.
Who decided that?
Was it Diefenbaker in like
Who's
60?
Diefenbaker?
Yeah, well,
Who's
go
Diefenbaker?
back to
We
class.
got to go to history class.
Yeah, who's Diefenbaker? I don't. What if I want to change the Canadian flag? to
Prime
something else?
Minister.
What if I want to change it to a beaver?
Okay, you two, you
Who
guys.
gets
are,
to decide
you
that?
guys are off on your.
You work on that.
again.
All right.
Who gets to decide that?
Now that we've got our special guest fired up and angry,
Yeah. No, I'm calm.
let's get
Are you?
I've
you
already
calm?
forgot about. What are you guys talking about? What
deep
did we do?
breaths, deep breaths. Zen. Woo.
I am zen right now.
Yeah, let's get into the podcast. Special guest star, Coach Chippy.
Woo! Welcome on to
I
the
know.
pod.
Yeah, we just got heated on the pod a little bit there, but we're feeling good.
Yep.
You guys want to know how I'm feeling? I'm feeling
Chippy's
fantastic.
fresh off of a draft loss and ready to talk about his.
Yeah, it's
his
hard
fame on
after a
TikTok.
Game 7 loss. It's really tough to put words together right now. And
Just give him the interview. Hey, little BioSteel spray.
yeah,
Get the-
exactly.
get
Where's
the
the
towel?
towel?
Get the
Yeah,
towel over?
got the towel.
You know, we came out strong, just didn't get the result that we wanted. But
That's all right. We'll give you a prep for next week.
I feel like
We'll
reffing, I
draft
feel like reffing was a little suspect, but
Canadian people next week. Yeah, Canadian people. I think the
Next
draft next
question.
week. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you started. Just get right into it. Like, how did you get where you are now? Because you basically started in the summertime.
No,
It's been
I
like
started way before that.
you
That's
did, but like you started. You know what I mean?
Started to take off more.
Okay,
in
you
the
guys want to know
summer.
where I started?
Yes, we do.
Well, I'll tell you where I started.
Started from the
I
bottom,
started
now we're
from
here.
I started from I say this a lot, but like I graduated university. I was working at an accounting firm, and I was like, this is just not for me. I'm gonna say there's might be some accountants out there, that's okay, but for me, it wasn't for me. I was someone that wanted to be like really creative. Like my mind just like races. Like my mind just goes like a million miles an hour. So obviously the meditation helps me just like calm it down.
Your mouth goes a million miles an hour as well.
Exactly. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna slow down as I speak so people can listen and hear me. And
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
so yeah, essentially I was doing something I really didn't like to do, and I stopped doing that. And I was like, I can't do it. My body was like everything in my body was like, this isn't for me. Like I got a ton of anxiety. I was like getting like panic attacks.
Right.
I was yeah, like at that point I was ton of anxiety. Like couldn't even like leave my room.
Wow.
Like it was to the point where my body was like, I'm doing this job, I'm going in there, I'm not getting like the respect. I don't know, the whole environment just was like really toxic for me.
Toxic, yeah.
Very toxic, very toxic. Like and I was like, all right, like my body, like I had to just legit stop doing that. Like I had to like relearn how to like leave my house and go to like the gym.
Jeez.
Like yeah, it was like it got to a point where like my mental health was like suffering so bad that like yeah, I was on medication. I was like on that stuff
Mm-hmm.
for anxiety and depression. And for me it's like I don't like the medication stuff. Like for me, I got put on this medication, and when I got put on the medication for a week, it was like the worst week of my entire life. Like
Right.
I'm just gonna jump in here. Go deeper into the like getting put on medication. How old were you, and like what?
Yeah,
what spurred you? Like what made you?
Yeah, I will. Actually, I've never like opened up like about this, but this is like something that's like near and dear to my heart. So it's pretty cool to be able to speak about this now. But yeah, it was at a point where yeah, I was getting these panic. I tell people like I was smoking a lot of weed at that time.
Get a little closer. Hey, get in frame here. This is
Yeah.
deep. I don't want you're leaning over here.
Yeah,
You're,
no,
like,
yeah.
exiting the stage.
I was at that point I was smoking a ton of weed. I was just in not a great mindset. Like I had 4 years of school. Like I was really good at school, so I could just
Be a bit lazy.
cruise on by, be lazy.
Mhm.
Lost a lot of like motivation. Like I got really good marks. Like I was like I had a 90 average in high school. Like I got into BBA, whatever. I'm not even gonna say the school, but I did 4 years there. I did really good. It was just like every day was the same. Like wake up, read whatever, regurgitate whatever it is, do well on the exam.
and
Yeah.
when you're in
Pass
school,
it.
your mental health, is that fine? You're good, or
I don't know. Like I feel like at that point I just began smoking a lot. I didn't drink a lot. I don't love drinking. So I kind of like replaced drinking with smoking. I'll just smoke and I'll
right? And the smoking, was that for like because you needed to or because you wanted to?
I started smoking in like grade 10. Like I started smoking young, and that's what I'd say to like if anyone like in high school is doing it, like just be careful with it because it's the cool thing to do. In high school, it's like it was for my at least I was like, oh, like I'm gonna be the stoner kid. I kind of like identified with it. I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, and
I went the opposite route.
Yeah.
I in high school, I'm like, I am not going to do it because I don't. Just in case I would get addicted to it, I
Yeah.
don't want it. I don't want to become like a
Yeah.
certain way. And I saw some of my friends that started when they were younger, like in grade 8, and they basically went down and they changed. And I was like, I don't want something else to change me.
Yeah.
I wanted to be in control. So I was a little worried that if I started doing that, I would lose control of myself, and I didn't want that. So
Yeah, like and that's what I like when I was younger. It was like, oh, I'm never gonna do this. Like I had the same kind of, and then I don't know. It was like you're at parties. It's like all around you. Like the parties that I like went to were gnarly, bro. Like these kids were like full on binge drinking, like
Yeah.
12 beers a night. We're in grade 10, like for like 15 years
Even
old.
if no one's pressuring you, it's still just the pressure of being in that environment.
oh yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
like-
surrounded with it and you see all your friends and people doing it, and nothing bad happens to them, you're like, oh well, what's the harm? But the thing is, it's like compounding effect. Something bad might not happen that one time you do it, but then it builds and builds and builds, and you start getting these bad habits that are affecting you.
Yeah.
3 or 4 or 5 years from now, you don't know what that stuff is doing to your brain, and you don't think about that when you're like
Not at all.
15
When
or
you're
16
15,
years,
not
right?
at all. And you're like, I'm a little, what's it called? I'm a little anxious, socially anxious. So I'm gonna go and drink a whole bunch
It's a coping.
and black out and just be a goof. Like,
Yep.
like I've been there. Like I probably drank more in high school than I drank in university.
Jeez.
If I'm gonna be honest, yeah. Like high school was grade 11 and 12 were big years. Like, I don't know, like with the crew I was with, like just at the whole school, like it was just kind of like everyone, like every weekend it was like, where are we going to just send it? Like, where are we just gonna go send it? And it was never like in a proper manner, right? You're sneaking it by your like
Going in the
course,
bush.
like
doing,
my parents were whatever. I'm not gonna like I had pretty loose parents. Like my parents like got it.
They
Like
trusted you probably, right?
yeah, they trusted because well, I had an older sister who was she dealt with all of it.
cleared the way.
She
for
cleared
you.
the way, right? My sister did everything in the book, and it was like, all right, when like I'm a guy, so it's a little less like when you're going to a party, whatever. Like yeah,
Yeah.
just go. I'm with my boys, like. Yeah, so like that kind of was like the big start of just like kind of like the substances, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then, yeah, so like grade 11, like I just smoked a lot of weed at a young age. It's just not a good mix because you're so developed as a person.
Yeah, it's not. There's been studies on that, I'm pretty sure, and it's
Not good.
it does. Yeah, it does. It does impact your
Yes.
like, brain development a little bit.
For sure, like your decision making skills and all that stuff, they're not fully there in high school. And people obviously think like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, if there's 16 or 17-year-olds listening to that, at that time you think like I'm basically an adult now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But your brain, and did on studies, it's truly not fully developed until I think you're 25 years old.
Not yeah.
It's when
Mine's not even
everything-
fully developed yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
It's like-
Well, and I think now a lot of growth happens, a lot of changes,
Yes.
reflecting, and the fact that you're doing the meditation and stuff like that, that's really helping you sort of like reevaluate your direction and what you're doing. But all right, keep on going. So
100%. Yeah. So like it got the substances. It was the cool thing to do. It was kind of like, all right, I'm in high school. You go to parties, whatever. And then I get into university, and then like obviously like drinking like is such a big thing, and like university like first year like everyone
culture,
you're away
yeah.
from home for the first time. Like, but like for me, we were so loose. Like we've been doing it. Like I'd been drinking since like grade 10. Like it was
Yeah.
like not a big thing. Whereas a lot of people are they're away from their parents for the first time, and it's like, oh, we're gonna send it. So like yeah, first like university, whatever. It was for me. I was so focused on I had to get into this co-op program. And so like for my first year, they try to weed everyone out, like try to weed all the week out.
Yeah.
So I was like super dialed on school first year, and it was like to a point where I was putting so much stress on myself for marks to get the outcome. Like it was like so outcome oriented at school. Like it's not like you just need these marks.
Effort doesn't matter if you don't get a good mark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Effort doesn't matter at all.
It's a lot of pressure.
A ton of pressure at these, like a ton of pressure.
Yep.
And exam season, and you're drinking coffee. And a lot of kids now on the vapes, nicotine, like to deal with the stress, right? It's like
Too bad you didn't have Chat GPT just to write your
exactly.
essays
Now
for
it's
you.
crazy. I could talk about that all day long.
And I would go like you kind of set yourself up for failure if you start learning that, okay, if I smoke this or drink this, it's going to reduce the stress I'm feeling. And then you put yourself into a really stressful situation a few years later. You almost don't know how to deal with stress. You are relying on something else to do it for you.
That's exactly it, right? So you have these exams. I think at university, like the schooling's crazy because it's just that's like the design. It's like I got stressful on Friday, but after Friday, let's just go and just get out of our mind.
Forget
right?
about
we,
it,
We have an
yeah.
exam worth 40%. Oh, and you end up doing not as well as you thought you did, or whatever it was. Like I got to the point where I'd be throwing up before these exams. Like these exams would be worth like 60, 70% of your mark.
Oh, I know it's
And
ridiculous.
and it's like 2.5 hours. You're not allowed to leave the bathroom for the first hour. Like these it was
Yeah.
like for me, I was very out. Like I really like marks for everything.
You're like, okay, teacher, I'll just puke on the desk then.
Yeah, like no, it was crazy. Like because in high school, it was like I really cared about my marks. It was really like I'm gonna get these marks because I need to get into university. Like that was like I stopped playing hockey, like AAA hockey in grade 9 because I was like I need to focus on school.
Jeez.
And then
There's a new twist in the story.
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't know it was grade 9. I thought you like probably
I thought I played
Wait-
double A. I played double A in grade 9 and 10.
right. I thought you kind of like wavered out around probably like grade 11, 12, like most kids that
Well,
play
yeah, 11,
AAA.
11 and 12. So I dropped down from AAA to double A in grade 9
Right.
because for
The
me,
stress level of that.
stress
plus
level.
schools,
It was
yeah.
also, dude, I was tiny.
Oh, right.
And
The size.
It wasn't. It
difference.
wasn't because
Contact comes
dude,
into
I
play.
was.
If you were 6'4", you're in the league.
6'4", I'm in the league, but at that point, dude, I was like, I never got cut. I dropped down. I was like, I played.
Let's just put that out there.
never
Let's
got
put it out there.
cut. I never got cut. I made the decision.
I'm calling your coach. I'm going to find out. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
No, you call him. I've never been cut from a hockey team ever. Okay, that's just name to fame.
Just our 3-on-3 team.
Yeah, just
Not
3 on
just-
3. But like, yeah, so like I dropped down grade 9, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna focus on school, like double A, great level hockey. Double A is great hockey. It just wasn't triple A. It just wasn't as serious, as gnarly, especially in grade 9, 10. Like these kids draft years, so like
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just-
they go hard.
they go so, and I'm like,
Minor
I'm
mark
not going anywhere in like hockey. I was like, all right, like it just wasn't it. I'm gonna focus on school. Like I'm gonna get a whatever.
Yep.
So I focused a lot on school and the marks. It was just marks. My whole like was like you need these marks to get in, whatever. I got in, had like a 90 average, whatever. Marks were easy in high school, and then
I'm just gonna jump in here. Did you actually did you know what you wanted to do with your life and what college or university you want to go to? And like, did you have that, or was that sort of like put on you?
yeah, I would say it was definitely put on me. Like I would definitely, my parents are awesome. My parents love me to death, and it was like they both went to school. It was just like that's just what you're like. You go to school, you get a good job.
The tough thing now is that like a lot of people and like kids in high school, they know that it's good to go to school, and it does help to get credentials for, especially for like certain certain paths
if you
you
know
want to
what
go.
you want to do, it's
but
great.
the problem is that you're, how old are you when you finish high school? 17,
you
18.
have no idea. You just have
So
no
you don't
idea.
know. And then in the meantime, it's like if you don't go to school right away, then all of a sudden you can't get like this help from the government to get this funding and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
don't
So
make the decision. Like,
yeah.
So here's the thing: parents and adults, they want what's best for the kids, and they are speaking from their experience. And any parent that, our parents and your parents, they grew up in a culture where you go to school, you get good grades, you get a job, you have that job for 40 years, you retire, and that's your life.
yeah, exactly.
But that is not how things work anymore. It's completely different. You can, like, most people have like a new job every 3 years. There's no loyalty. The companies aren't paying these huge like retirement packages to people.
not at
They
all.
don't care. They'll get rid of you in a second if a bit of a downturn in the economy. Goodbye, and you're on
Goodbye.
your own. So it's like you don't have that same
What's it called? Security.
Yeah,
as you did before.
Yeah.
you don't have, but that's what they think it is. So that's why they're pushing it on you.
Yes.
And the other thing that I was
Well, the reason that this that is like that is because the whole schooling system is designed to train you to be an employee.
Yes.
yes, but it hasn't updated
Yes.
to what life is actually like.
Yeah.
And the one thing
Well,
that
the
I was,
reason is because if it did, then corporate, like the whole corporate structure wouldn't work.
well, that you need people working,
You need
Yeah.
people to work for
Yes.
corporations.
but they ignore, like, no one told me about trades. I didn't, and I went to school in a farm town where everyone was farmers or had their own business.
Yeah.
There's plumbers, there's electricians. No one said you could do that. They said you can take the applied stream or the academic stream. So you're going to go to college or you're going to go to
Yes.
university. They didn't say, oh, by the way, if your dad has a business, you could work for him and just take it over.
Yeah.
No one ever said, oh, and if you're, you got a milk farmer, you can just milk cows. That's fine. You can just help you plow the fields.
No, yeah. It's
No one says that. Why? But
Because
then
that doesn't fuel the economy.
But well, it does. You need electricians, and then there was a shortage for the
Like
longest time.
I'm talking like the businesses that want to run the economy.
Right, I gotcha.
But like it all started back from when they need people to work for corporations.
Yeah, like if you
Yeah.
type in Rockefeller, if you do your research on what's like,
Yeah.
like for me, I did it. Like okay, so I was in it. Like I was
Yeah,
in the system.
you're in the
Like
system.
I was in the system, right? I was an object of the system.
Let me just throw this out there
Yeah,
real
go.
quick. It's fast. What we're doing now did not exist when we were in school,
No.
or maybe when you're in high school it was starting. But like YouTube, you could not make money off. Like YouTube basically just started like when I was early in high school. Like
Yeah, it's actually
it
you
was
were like
created.
a pioneer. Yeah, you were like
And-
really pioneering it.
And like I was doing the YouTube videos. Instagram just launched. Like Instagram
Yeah,
didn't
you've seen
exist.
this. You've seen this evolve. You've
I mean-
been in this game for so long. like,
But even TikTok, like it only started a few years ago. Like 9 years ago, you couldn't be like, oh, I want to make money with a business on TikTok.
Even when there was Vine, it wasn't like, oh, let's start a business using Vine as a way to
no,
grow.
but Vine was
following.
crazy.
So that's the
Vine
thing.
was crazy.
When Vine dropped, there was this guy and he was making like $1 million to do a 9-second video. Like
Yeah.
Coca-Cola's paying him like $1 million, and the app just existed 6 months earlier,
yeah.
but he blew up so fast, and that's like
Mhm.
they can't teach that in school.
No, it's this new world now. Every kid wants to be an influencer. Like I think there was a study like in the States. It was like 90% of kids said they wanted to be like a YouTuber or like it's changing so much because that's how they're getting all their data now. All their data, like all their all their information now is coming from influencers.
What I love is that you can do both.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite guys, like I follow a woodworker who also makes videos. Right, it
Yeah,
complements
that's
his
huge.
business. He's a
That's
local
huge.
woodworker. He goes to shows, but he's just so engaging and cool. Like he gets millions of views just like showing how he's making his chair. And
So
then
dope.
There's guys that clean pools.
Yeah.
and they also make videos.
It's
So
a great
both.
tool. Like if you're like every business now, it's just inevitable. You need to have an online presence.
It is funny though in those like surveys like that, they ask like, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a YouTuber or influencer. But what they don't ask themselves because they're just kids. They're not thinking, okay, well, what do you want to be good at?
That's
like-
that's huge. That's
Like
huge
that should be
question.
what school asks you. What do you want to be good at? Not
Yeah.
What do you like?
like what do you want to be when you grow up? No, what do you like to do? What do you want to be good at?
Yeah.
I mean, I loved hockey, and I found a way to make that a business.
You're good
basically.
at
I-
you're
I
good
get
at
to do hockey.
talking about it and teaching it.
Yeah.
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 All right, so we're going back.
Yeah.
We started with how did you decide to go and get diagnosed? And
Yeah.
like,
So when did you
Oh,
stop
yeah.
smoking
That-
weed, and when was the
Yeah.
timeline of when smoking weed versus getting on those meds or?
I mean,
Yeah.
we can keep on going down life path. I don't mind.
Let's go.
This is,
Yeah,
this
life
is
path's
bringing
cool.
up a lot of great topics.
Yeah,
right? So-
yeah, life path's cool. Like, 'cause I'm kind of just reflecting now. Like,
Yep.
We're just going down the main road and every now jotting out for a second before it comes.
yeah.
back.
So like in high school, I had dope friends. Like I had a lot of friends. I was just like, buzzing around. You're doing stupid stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I was just
Yep.
doing stupid stuff. You're smoking, partying. Great guys. Like I just had really good friends. Like it was just, you're buzzing around. You're doing your thing. Boom. So now I went to school. No one I knew went to school with me. No one went to my same university.
So I'm just gonna jump in one more
Yeah,
tab because
jump. Yeah,
you're
jump.
talking your experience and it brings me back to stuff. So when I was in high school, also like lots of friend groups. I had one strong friend group, but I would go out and party. And I found at the beginning it's probably easier to just say yes. Like if someone offers
Yeah.
you something, hey, do you want this? Do you want that? Right? Everyone else is doing it. You grab, sure, whatever. I said no. And after a while, my friends all just knew that I don't do that stuff. So I'd go to parties still, and I would still have a blast, and I was still hanging out with these groups. But they just would stop. Like they would know I don't do that stuff, so they just wouldn't ask.
Yeah.
Right. And if I was with like a new group, like I remember I was at Wasaga Beach, and there was these guys from Quebec there. It was a campground just filled with like 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just getting after it.
These guys from Quebec rolled a joint that was like the size of a telescope, and they were just passing it around.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg.
and these kids are all 17, just
It's-
getting wired.
Right.
like-
And right, it comes to me, and my friend just looks at me, and I'm like, nah, right, and just pass on the next. But like I was still there, I still experienced it.
100%.
I just like yeah. So it is harder at the beginning, but if you do choose that, like, yeah, this is not for me, it becomes easier, and then your friends will all support you. If you have good friends, they will.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I guess that was like, yeah, the timing was I think a lot of it had to do with like I was someone that said no a lot. Like I didn't like going to party. Like I just I had a lot of anxiety. I was just like I don't love being in crowds. So my friends always had to like you're coming with us. You're coming with us. So I,
Right.
Drag you along.
like
Yeah.
or not, but they were great. Like they wanted me to get out. Like I needed to get out. Like I was just anxious. Like I would
Yeah.
I was like kind of just like I had a lot of anxiety to go to like these events and these social things. And it was like, okay, well now I'm just gonna if I'm going, I'm just gonna go crank. Like
Right.
I'm just gonna get cranked out of my mind so I can
not
not
think about it
think-
anymore.
Yeah.
You're either
anxious, yeah.
out or you're all in.
exactly. And I was like, I was out or all in. That's exactly what it was. I couldn't
Right.
be like half and half. So it was like, and I think that was beginning of time where I was like, I don't really like going to these parties. Like I don't like I didn't like it. Like I wanted to. I was just anxious and I was like everyone around. It was just the same vibe every time. Like
I guess you get the initial thrill, everything's new and exciting and different, and you figure it out. But then once it becomes repetitive, you're like, okay,
yeah, like
why am I even
like
here?
like now like I don't go out a lot. Like I don't love like
Mhm.
I don't party every weekend. Like
You're
I'm
too
not-
busy making vids in your room.
So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But so yeah, so I get to school, whatever. Year 2, I get into the co-op program. I had the marks. I wasn't even going to apply because I was like, oh, what if I don't get in? Like I was like, oh, like whatever.
So you're going to be an accountant?
Dude, I don't even know what I was doing. I was
Just business.
it was just
or-
getting into it. I was just business. It was bachelor BBA. It was bachelor business, and at that point I didn't decide what I wanted to do, but like the co-op program is like you can apply to all these different jobs, and it gives you like the school will work around it, where it's like you do like a work term, you come back for school, like they just work with you. They give you an opportunity to get like corporate experience, in whatever area you want to do, whether it was marketing, whether it was accounting,
Which is great if you want to do it.
which is great if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And for me, like, I was like, oh, accounting's cool. Like my mom was an accountant, like, or whatever.
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, like I'm good with numbers. I didn't love numbers, but I was good at math. I could do the math. Like,
That's the problem with like the whole structure of like going through school. It's like, okay, well I was good at this, so I should do this. Not
Yeah.
like what do I want to do.
yeah, like
It's asking the wrong questions early on.
yeah, like for me, I was really book smart. I could learn anything, regurgitate it, and do well on exam. Like I could read, memorize. I had like a graphic. I could memorize stuff.
Mhm.
Like I just had a mindset where I could memorize whatever I'm reading and regurgitate, and that's all you had to do on these exams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It wasn't really learning. It was
No.
more of like
You forget it a week later.
you forget it a week later because that's what you have to do. You have to learn, forget, on to the next exam because you have 5 exams in 1 week, and it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to learn 15 chapters of 5 different topics and you have 5 exam that week, and it's like, oh, like
Can't do that with
how
a
am I-
trade.
no, and trades is dope. I think trades like is absolutely awesome. I think like yeah, you could start your business, be very successful. You're outside, you're buzzing, or like for me, I think I was more of a trades like hands. I like doing stuff with my hands. Like I was way more hands on than I realized.
I did a year of university after so I got a diploma in college for police foundations. I was going to be a police officer. I love psychology, so I'm like, I might as well go to university for it.
Yeah,
So I go for a year, and I'm like, this is way too much reading. Like I was in the library, I'm reading books on like the toilet.
yeah. Psych is
like-
psych is intense, but I wish I took psych instead of what I took.
It was really interesting, but after a year, I'm like, I love it. It's interesting. Do I want to do this for as a job? No, it's way too much learning and
Yeah.
reading. I was like, this is like it's boring.
The only
Like,
electives.
Sorry, the topic is very exciting, but the task of sitting down and just reading
like,
and
see,
reading
like,
and
it's-
reading your whole life, I'm like, this is not me. I'm a hands-on guy. I like to build. I like to create. So I dropped that. Went for a year to Fanshawe for web development because I was making
Which is
websites.
cool. Like that's super
Yeah.
cool. To go
And I
to
got a
school for
diploma in that, and then I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna travel because I still didn't know really what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think like if you're going to school for the degree, you're missing the point entirely. That's what I realized. You're missing the point. Like you have to go and want to learn what you're learning. Else, there's just no point in doing
yeah.
it at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
There's no point of doing it at all.
No, like I
You're
would have,
missing the point entirely.
I would have been out like 60 grand if I just stuck with that for 3 more years. The
yeah,
psych
it's
thing.
if you didn't want like if you don't want to do it and you don't want to learn about it, like and like it's just what's the like for me.
Call it a day.
You're gonna end up working a job that you don't want to work to go on living a life you don't want to live.
Yep.
Or
And
you'll
for-
end up
it
doing
didn't
like
make any
3
sense to me.
different degrees for
Oh,
stuff that you don't need.
I have so
Yeah.
many friends that stuck with the program because they were in the program and because maybe their parents were pressuring them, like, you need a degree, you need a
Yeah.
degree. And they just do regular jobs.
Yeah.
Like, they're so overqualified because they just like, oh, well, that, maybe they get
Now
married.
it's all about experience. How am I supposed to get experience if I've never worked a job? And it's like that. I remember I saw be in these interviews, and I interviewed well. Like I ended up like with the co-op thing. I interviewed like 4 different jobs. They all offered me a job. I was like,
Nice.
I was a B. Yeah, they were like they reached out. They're like, holy, I've never seen this. That was nice in the interviews. I showed up and I was like, instead of being nervous, I was like, let me just be myself. The one guy was like a hockey guy,
Yep.
so I chopped it up about hockey. I was like, let me just like talk to these
Be
people.
yourself. It's
And
very
be
important.
yeah, I was like, let me be myself. So I ended up getting whatever, and I ended up taking the job because it was closer to my hometown. I took there was a marketing job I got offered, but I took the accounting one because it was like where it just made sense.
Convenience.
It was convenient. I was like, all right, let me just take this job. It's convenient.
Yeah.
And then boom, like this is year 3 now, school, and I'm working at this accounting firm. Oh, and at this point, I forgot this is probably a big thing. At this point, my dad has to. Like there was a lot of like heart scares. Like he ended up having
Oh.
this was huge. Actually, this was huge.
This
is
that's
huge.
a lot of pressure.
So this school, I'm working a job I really don't like, and now my dad is like, what happened? I remember what was the situation? We had to like rush him to the hospital. We had to call. He was having he was like throwing up in a basket. He had talked about him. He would play
Chest
ball
pain,
hockey
right?
and he was getting chest pains and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I get home from BDO at work, and it's like he's throwing up in a basket. We have an ER doctor across the street,
Mhm.
and he comes over and he's like, "Yeah, you gotta call 911." So it's like, this is gnarly. He's like, at that point we didn't know he was like dizzy, spinning, and it was bad. And like the paramedics came, did a great job. It was like awesome. It ended up being vertigo.
Oh,
It ended up being non-heart related,
that's good.
Right.
but I think I jumped the story. But like, so 2 months before that, he went to the thing. He got one of those angiograms,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it said that he needed like triple bypass surgery on his
way.
heart.
Jeez.
So that's what happened. So that was gnarly.
Did he get it? The surgery?
Yeah. So I'll get to that. So yeah, this is like a lot of things. At this point, I'm smoking weed. I'm working a job I absolutely hate. I'm at university. I'm down bad. It's just not a good time in
Yeah.
my life. It was bad. It was, and so yeah, my dad now has to get triple bypass surgery on his friggin' heart, and it's
Right.
like we have to wait 4 months or something.
Jeez.
So then 2 months into it, he's now I get home, he's throwing up in a basket. So we're thinking, how could this not be heart related?
Yep.
Like how could
Yeah,
this
yeah.
not?
Yeah, the
be
chances of it being vertigo over something that you just had surgery for is
Or no, this is before the surgery. This is waiting to get the surgery.
oh, waiting to get it
because
even.
arteries
Oh,
are
yeah.
clogged
Right.
or whatever. And yeah, it was like, okay, well that was gnarly. And then he ends up now it's the wait. It's like the wait to the heart surgery. And it's like he's having to like think about his life. Like he's like you know, you're doing the will, like you're doing there's a whole bunch of stuff you got to do before you
Jeez.
do this, right?
Jeez, yeah.
And it
That's
was
a lot of
yeah, it was a
anxiety.
lot. So I started smoking a ton of weed. I was on these dab vape pens. I was just like whatever, like I'm just smoking, like I'm just life was just so bad. It was like at that point I just had no outlook. There was no creative energy. There was nothing I was even doing other than getting stoned. And it
Yeah.
was like I'm gonna get stoned
And
and listen
I
to music.
think that's the problem is like you didn't have a healthy way to deal with
No.
anxiety or
I,
stress.
I went to the gym. Like
Yeah.
I was still into the gym, and at that point I had a lot of like body. Like I wanted to get as big as possible. Like
Yeah.
so I was putting a lot of food in my system. So I was going to the gym.
There's even
but
some
I was
pressure
addicted.
there.
I was addicted to the gym. It was like
Yeah.
body dysmorphia type stuff. It was really not good.
That's what I'm saying. Even going to the gym, it should be a healthy outlet for you, but like you're attaching something else to it.
Exactly. I'm like I
you're-
need to get big. I'm
Yeah.
not accepting myself. It was
And if you're not getting big, then you feel pressure and anxiety about that, right? Like,
exactly.
From
It was
yourself, yeah.
it was just like a recurring. I didn't know who I was,
Mhm.
and I was lost. And now like this family thing with my dad. I'm like, oh, this is gnarly.
Let's be clear, that's a pretty common thing when you're a teenager. The challenge is when you turn to like substances to like
yeah, it's just
cope with
not
that.
the
Right? Like
not
everyone
it.
as a teenager has self like doubt and
Yeah.
like identity crises and anxiety, like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Maybe not to the same extreme,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's tough when you turn to like weed or
Yeah, because weed makes
alcohol
it.
to
If you have anxiety, I'm telling you, weed does not help. Like, so okay,
Mm.
some people, I don't want to say like, some people like, yeah, it might help. For me, it was like,
it's a band-aid.
it was. I would smoke, and then I would have a negative thought, and I would have the worst trips. I would get in these like I've seen like I just had the worst trips ever. Like I've seen some shit in these trips. Like I'd get caught up, and then I'd have to like let go, and it
Right.
was like and actually like that like kind of taught me like having those bad trips like it was just thoughts.
right.
And then that was like really like you can meditate on that. And like if you get stoned, you're in a bad trip and you have to like realize you have no control of yourself. You have to just you were breathing before you did the whatever you did.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
you gotta let go. Like if you're in a bad trip, it's letting go. Like that's the answer. So now I have all these messages that I want to get out to the world. Like let go. I want to put that on a shirt.
Yep,
Like
yep.
let go. Learn to let go. Just flow. Like there's a lot of things that like because I smoke weed and I went through all this mental trauma. I would say
They
like
do say that sometimes the worst points in your life lead to the best ones.
so many.
Yeah.
You need highs and lows.
Yeah.
Oh,
you need
for
high.
sure.
If you
Yin
don't,
yang balance, baby.
yeah.
Like,
If there's no ups and downs, you haven't really lived. You like
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
yeah. So like, and that's where we're relating to the point where I'm at now. But like, yeah, like this is what I went through to get to where I am now. So like, there's a lot of learning I had to do
Yep.
before I built up the confidence to put myself out there and do what I'm doing. But a lot of this like stems from, yeah, like I had, I was going through like everyone's trauma is different. I'm not saying like I've gone through the most traumatic things ever, but in my life it was very traumatic. Like,
of course, it's
I only know what I know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what anyone else is going through right now. So if you're going through something, like don't compare yourself to others. Like
There's
just
no value in it.
yeah, there's no value, and it's like everyone's experienced stuff, and everyone's traumas are valid. Like
oh yeah,
whatever it may
it's
be.
their experience,
Yeah.
right? And everyone experiences it in their own way. So it's it's them. It's their. I would say like if you look at the highs and the lows, and this is a great way to look at the lows. Every opportunity or every situation is an opportunity to learn and grow.
Yes, 100%.
So if you look at a terrible thing that is happening and you see it as a way to learn and grow, then it doesn't feel as bad, and you can see like something past it. And I think
Yeah.
that's when people get stuck in something that has happened as like it consumes them,
Yes,
and they
yes.
don't see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
right?
like a big thing. I want to put this on a shirt too. Learn the lesson, live and grow.
Yeah.
Like, and there's stuff I've done in the past that's just so not good that I've had to reflect. I've had to like forgive myself, but I've had to learn. I had to learn that lesson. Karma's real. Like if you've done something, karma's a real thing. Like I really learned about karma, and karma's super real.
It's almost like an internal thing that because you're feeling the guilt of whatever was done.
Oh, it's 100%.
It's
It's just-
manifest. It's like
Yes.
manifesting, but in a negative way. That's how I think of karma.
Yeah,
right?
and you have to be able to learn to forgive yourself, and you have to learn how learn the lesson, then forgive yourself because you could get caught in those karmic debts
Cycles,
forever, man.
yeah.
Like yeah,
Another great quote: "You only lose if you lose the lesson."
yeah,
Right.
that's facts.
Something bad happens and
I
you don't
agree.
learn anything from it, then you've lost. But
Yeah,
if you
100%.
you can gain something from
Yeah, if you're learning.
low points.
So back to the story.
Yep, we're getting
So whatever we're leading up. My dad ends up like this is the week now. He's getting the surgery. It's just intense, man. And so he ends up going in. Whatever we said or whatever goodbye. Like he had to go in the early morning.
That's tough.
And
Yeah.
this is the same a doctor that did my grandfather who had quadruple bypass surgery.
Oh, so
So it's in the family. So
yeah.
I'm watching now. Like I'm watching whatever I have to do.
Pack those salads.
maybe yeah, maybe ease up on the Big Macs.
Yeah,
for-
exactly. He's up on the Big Macs. Like this is the year I'm really taking my diet seriously and like, yeah. But so yeah, he goes in. I'm at work. Like at this point, I'm at this BDO or whatever where I was working. BDO. It was BDO.
Yeah.
And I was working
You
at
already
this,
said it earlier.
yeah. You know what? I don't care. And it was I was working here, and it was just I'm not thinking about the job at all. I'm thinking about my dad. I'm thinking about what the hell. Like this is
Yeah.
insane. This is
That's a
crazy.
day you take off.
I feel like you could probably take
So-
that.
talk
day
to
off.
the
So he had the surgery, and then I guess there was some mishaps. So they call my mom and they're like, "Oh, like there's been something happened. Like you have to come to the hospital."
Oh, jeez.
And it was like, "Oh." So my mom's rushing to the hospital.
And you're at work still?
I'm at work this
When
day.
did you you
because
heard this
he got
after?
he got out
Oh, okay.
and it was successful, like, but he was just like sedated, like he was
right.
not even functioning. And then so I guess it was like 2 days later. I'm at work. I'm not really I'm
No,
fired
you're a
up that
zombie.
the surgery like went
Yeah.
good. And then like 2 days later, I get a call. My mom's crying, and I'm like thinking, like, and then she she starts yelling at something. She starts yelling at like so he ended up having a stroke after the surgery,
Yeah.
and then like half his face was like
Oh.
Didn't get enough blood up to his brain.
it was I don't know what happened, but like
it's common for strokes. Like you lose like
yeah,
the
it was
yeah.
just like
nerves in one side of your
it
body.
was rough shape. Like he wasn't gonna be able to drive. It was just like rough shape. And
Mhm.
so my mom, so I don't know. My mom's just not really good at communicating this. So she's like on the phone crying to me, and then like trying to get a hold of the doctor because the doctor's not like responding. And then
Right.
so she ends up hanging up on me. And
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
I'm at this office. Now I'm thinking he's dead. I'm thinking my dad's dead. I rush out of the office. I'm doing like 150, like 80 up the highway to get. It was a 45-minute drive to the hospital. So I'm literally this for this 80 minutes, like my dad's dead. And it was like I'm just flying up like the road.
Yeah.
And I get there, and it's like, oh, like, you know, your dad, he's alive. I'm like, is he alive? Like, yeah, he's alive. And I'm like, well, you hung up on me. How am I supposed to
Oh
know
my-
he's alive? Like, what the hell? You were crying and
Yeah.
whatever. I'm thinking, what the hell is good? And so we go in. He had a stroke. His face, whatever. He couldn't really walk. Like, it was bad.
Mhm.
And then he recovered. Like, it was miraculous. He recovered. He's able to drive now. Like, he's able to do his thing. Like, it was incredible the way he recovered. But that was the point where like, yeah, there's a lot of like mental stuff and I wasn't coping with that very well. And
Yeah.
I went to like the substances, and then I think it was like 4 or 5 months later, it was like, holy, I ended up getting these panic attacks. I was at this job working, getting these panic attacks, like convinced myself I had a friggin' heart attack. Like,
Yeah.
now I'm thinking I got heart issues. Like, it was just so bad.
Talk about the manifesting of
Yeah.
negative thoughts, right?
Well,
Yes,
It's-
exactly. Manifesting thoughts is real, man.
Yeah, it's the negative thoughts, the anxiety, the pressure, and then the substance, like whatever they're doing to your brain at the same time.
Yeah,
Just
no, I'm
think
just
your
drowning it
body's
out, and I'm
not
having
working
yeah.
how it should be working.
No.
There's
I'm
a
going
lot
into
of
this job. I'm this zombie, bro.
a lot of interference going on.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and then your doctor's like, "Hey, let's throw you on some medications."
and so no. At that point, I asked. I go to the doctor, and I'm like, I need something. Like I'm depressed. I can't leave my room. Like I'm like
Mm.
at a point where like I need something here. So I was like asking for it. He ended up putting me on some anxiety stuff, but I think it was more of like anxiety and depression at this point. Like at this point, I the way I could describe depression is that like it feels like you're never ever in the history of the world gonna be happy again. That's like it was like I'm
You
never.
can't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
There's zero.
Yeah.
It's so dark at that point. It's so dark that it's like very dark.
So
And
did you have anyone that
I went to
that reached out that like kind of introduced you to the light at the end of the tunnel? Like was there any figure that or thought that formed that made you realize that there is an end to this?
it was interesting. So I ended up getting I got put on these meds, and there was anti-anxiety, anti-depression. And the first week, they didn't communicate this at all to me. It's like a side effect of these medications is that like suicidal thoughts.
Oh,
what the-
that's
great.
Like suicide, and when I say like I get put on this stuff wired my brain in such an insane way
yeah.
where I have never like it was living in hell. Like I was like, bro, I didn't trust myself. Like I didn't
Yeah.
trust myself to be like it was bad. Like I didn't.
I don't understand how that helps.
And that's why I'm completely against medication with this stuff. I'm completely against putting anyone on this stuff. Like there's so many other remedies and ways to, and so now I'll talk about that after what I've been doing to whatever. But like at this point, I'm on this stuff, and I don't trust myself in a kitchen around anything.
Yeah.
Like I've never felt that. I was like the thought of even thinking about harming myself was the scariest thing ever. I was like, how could I even be thinking this right now?
Right.
Like that was the
And then you
point
get anxiety about
that, thinking about that.
It's worse.
And so like like I'm literally not unable to leave my room. Like I'm
Yeah.
unable to go to the gym and walk into a gym.
Yikes.
And like just zero light. There was zero light, and it was a really really tough time for me. And I ended up whatever like starting to get outside, started going for walks like with my mom. I was like, oh, let's just go for walks, like just to get out, like.
Mhm.
But everything was like a worry. It was like I'm worrying about everything all the time. Like that's what it was, just like worry, depression, worry, depression.
That's not a good cycle. to
I'm
be in.
gonna jump in there, and I think it's kind of a shortfall with the health system is that a lot of times they are looking for the quick fix, but they're not really finding the root of the issue.
Mm,
So there's, I think, a lot of things that can be helped with a more holistic approach
yeah.
of finding, okay, what is causing this symptom? Instead of treating the symptom, we go after what's the
Well, that's
cause.
where like therapy and stuff comes.
Yeah,
like,
but-
having someone to talk to that can come to the root of the problem.
Which I did. I ended up I went to therapy, and
Yeah.
and for me therapy,
depends on who you get.
I have my they were good. I ended up going to like 2 different therapists. The therapy was okay, but you're talking about your problem. Like I don't know, my therapy was different. Like it was more like helping me be present. So it wasn't really a therapy where you're talking about what's on your mind. It was more of like it was good, but
introducing good strategies.
introducing
mentally.
good strategies to like get yourself present. So a lot of it was like grounding yourself. So if
Yeah.
you're ever feeling really stressed or really anxious, like start like touching objects around the room.
Right.
Like ground yourself, like bring yourself back to the room.
hmm
And so
I do that with Mason when he
Yeah.
starts getting like he gets really angry,
yeah,
and if I can catch him like just before he really blows up, I say 1, 2, 3. What do you see? And he just has to tell me something he sees.
Yeah.
Because it's getting his mind off of whatever he's hyper focused on.
yeah, like 'cause
Right.
you're in your own
And-
internal world, like, and that's like you're these thoughts that are just manifesting themselves.
And then I get him to take a deep breath, and I say 1, 2, 3. What do you hear? And he'll just tell me things he hears. I say 1, 2, 3. What do you smell? And then another deep breath, and what do you
Yeah.
feel? And then he'll tell me what he feels, and it pretty much always
Yeah.
brings him out of this like rage that he is about to launch himself into.
But you
But
gotta catch it first.
you
Yeah.
have to catch it first
Yeah.
because once he's in that, it's fight or flight, and he is possessed, and it's just like, look out, it's tough.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just grounding. It's just understanding. So at that point, so I start going to therapy. I end up just stop taking the meds. I didn't tell anyone. I'm like, I don't want to be on these things. I don't know what they're doing. They don't seem to be helping me.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's like it's not as bad as it was. Still not great, but I'm like, let me just get off these, because at that point I was on these meds and I was smoking, and I'm like, this can't be good
Right.
at all. Right? I'm like, this isn't good at all.
There's probably some sort of contradiction there with like that you shouldn't do this if you're taking these. And
Yeah, and at this point, I'm like, I have to get my degree now. I'm in like year 3. I'm like, I had to drop out of this co-op program. I couldn't finish because I couldn't be at this job,
hmm
and then everything then turned online,
Ah.
and it was like all online. And for me, it was like, all right,
Oh, we're going through COVID now, eh?
yeah. So now we're getting smacked by this thing, and now there's no school. I think it helped. Like, kind of for me, it was like I don't even think I would have been able to go to classes. I don't think I would have been at this point in my so the fact that I could just buzz online, rip whatever, like, get through these exams, like everything was online, and I'm like, all right, like I couldn't even leave my room at this point.
And
I'm like, this is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
a blessing in disguise.
did you start making videos yet?
No,
you
no,
didn't
no.
have
At
the
this,
TikTok
at
yet?
this point, no, 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 no.
We're still a young Chippy.
At this point, there's
Young
no
Chippy.
confidence. I am still severely in my just bad state.
This
of
was
mind.
this was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, this was this.
We could almost make this a 2-part podcast. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I
tune in next
apologize
week.
for,
Yeah.
like-
No, it's great. I like.
Yeah.
This one is
Yeah.
Chippy's life story,
Deep
but
dive
it's
into
great.
Chippy's story.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people see me for this goofy character, but there's been a lot of stuff that's led me to being able.
Cause and effect, right?
Yeah,
I think it's great to share your story and to get it out there, and people are going to connect with you and they're going to understand you, and you know, it's
Yeah,
we're
'cause
out
I
there.
haven't-
Let's
yeah.
put ourselves out there.
I haven't really
The path to
communicated
a
this-
puck daddy.
I haven't communicated this really to any. Like, I'll go on my live stream and I'll say some stuff like, but I've never deep dove about the mental health aspect of.
Well, we can,
learning.
like me personally, I could sense your passion towards mental health just by how you carry yourself and talk about meditating and grounding yourself and all the sayings
Yeah.
that you do. So I'm happy to hear this
Mhm.
story because it tells me a lot about how you've developed as a character because truly it is an important thing to you. And
Yeah.
if people just think like you're just doing it because it's a bit,
Yeah,
that's not the
yeah.
reality, right?
Yeah,
so
not at all.
It's nice to hear the backstory.
Yeah.
And I like that phrase. You developed your character development.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's really high school, college, university, whatever. The years from like say 15 to 25, a lot of character development.
That's arguably the most
happens there.
tangible benefit of going to university and
And
school is
You-
the
you just-
character development.
Yeah, you just go through stuff.
Yeah.
You have to
just eat shit.
To
and-
go- yeah, you
and
have
get through
to.
it. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It's really finding who you are.
Yes.
Right? That's
yes.
character development.
Like, if you've never gone through crap, you've never.
Mhm.
You don't.
You have to
get
experience
stronger.
pain to experience pleasure.
Exactly. It's facts. You can't have one without the other. It's like
Yeah.
the yin and the yang.
And I think some people might get stuck in a certain character, right? They're a certain person in high school or something, and then they never really develop past that. And
That's the
they
big.
might feel
yeah,
lost.
That's where I
right?
want to tap in. I kind of want to tap into that.
Mhm.
So it was.
Let's go.
So building. So now it's like I had this stuff happen in the past, and this was going into now. I'm going. So this is all year 3 of school.
Yeah.
All year 3, and I was like, all right. Okay, I'm not working this BDO. I don't have to worry about this BDO thing. I switched my degree from accounting to marketing.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, I'm starting to I just can't do these marketing exams anymore. Or at least accounting exams.
Right.
I don't want to read whatever. It was insane. I'm like, okay,
Enough spreadsheets.
okay. So boom. So now it's online. Let me fire. I'm in marketing now. It's way more chill.
Change
It's
gears.
way more chill. My
Yeah.
dad was a marketer. My dad has his own business. It was just he had a business called The Marketing Man when he was 23.
Nice.
So it
Nice.
was just that's okay, this is I always wanted to do marketing, but I ended up doing the accounting because you be close to the money, you'll make a lot of money. Whatever.
and money is not it.
No, and
Let's
it's
be honest.
not
you
it.
do need it. It's important.
It's a
But
tool.
It's,
Yeah. You have to have a proper relationship with money.
It's not the answer. Like a lot of people, just another side quest here, sidebar. A lot of people you ask them, hey, if you won the lottery, what would you do? Oh, I'd travel. I would sail. I would I don't know, retire. But a lot of these things you can do it. You don't have to be a millionaire. Like
No, yeah. It's
you
yeah.
you could do it maybe not for your entire life, but you still could save up and accomplish what you want, and you can still be happy. But
The difference between thinking of money as a tool and thinking of money as the barrier is that if you think of, okay, well, what can I do to be able to do that? It's like thinking of everything as a problem and solution versus oh, if I had money, I'd be able to do that. It was oh no, well, what do I need to do in order to be able to do that? Or if you actually need money to do that, okay, well, what can I do to get that money to be able to do that?
too many people
Yeah.
Yeah.
associate money with happiness. Money is the answer. If I get the money,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I will be happy. But there's so much more to life, and they're so hyper focused. And the problem is, if they ever did get the money, they might be happy for a few weeks, and then life would continue,
Yeah.
right? So another thing you could do, and you could just do this at home if you're listening. Think, if you won the lottery, what would you do? And then ask yourself, and then what?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
There's say I won it right now.
I would buy a boat. Okay, well,
and then what?
go,
Right? I'm
go
30.
get a canoe and go on the,
Get
on
a
the
good
lake.
boat. Yeah,
You
get
know,
a cheap boat.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a boat.
build a canoe.
money. Yeah, money can buy. You can get experiences, but it's the experience of the day to day. What is it that you like to do?
Mhm.
What is it that you enjoy? What do you want to get good at? And that's where we get back to
You don't have to be rich.
you don't have to be
do
rich to
a
be
lot of
doing what you
things.
love to do.
Yeah.
I love being with my kids. I don't even do it rich to do that.
No.
I like teaching. I like helping people. I like. I do like to
Talking.
travel, but do once or twice a year. That's good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where you okay, if I was poor, I would not be traveling on airplanes, but I would still travel. I'd still like hop in a truck and just
Yeah,
drive,
yeah.
Right.
go camping, stuff like that. You can find ways to make it happen. But
Yeah, like money,
Sidebar.
money is just something that, like you have to kind of detach from the outcome with money. And if you're making money this big thing in your life, it's probably gonna be hard to come by. Whereas if you detach and you end up focusing on and working hard towards a goal, money will come with as a byproduct of your passion and your hard
100%,
work.
yeah.
100%.
Focus on the right thing, and then even if it doesn't happen, you're still happy. If you focus on the happiness,
Exactly. If
what
yeah,
makes you
exactly.
happy, then it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
If you don't, right?
It's a double game. So like once you find something that you love to do, you're loving doing it. Oh, and then as a byproduct, you get paid for it. Like that's the coolest thing. Like if you're doing like, and I read a lot of Alan Watts, and what he says is like whatever it is that you were passionate about, go to that, and there's going to be a subset, a niche of people that also like the same stuff that you like.
Exactly.
So get good and master whatever skill it is, whether it's juggling, whatever. Like do it every day, master it, then monetize it. Monetize whatever it is that you love to do. You should be able to monetize that, or because then you can live a life that you like living.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, you're working a life that you're working for money that you don't. You're living a life that you don't want to live.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what's the point of that? I'm going to work at this accounting firm so I can get money to go back to that accounting firm every day and hate my life. Like I just didn't make any sense to me.
It's crazy the amount of things that you could do if you like say you're doing something and you don't like it. It might take you a few months to start learning some new skill. You just need a skill. You need to be able to do something better than someone else, and then you can charge for it. Like you could go on Kijiji, buy some old weed whippers, and start fixing them up. Now you're a 2-stroke engine mechanic,
Yeah.
and you could do that as a business. It wouldn't take too long,
there's
right?
so
Grandpa
many-
did that.
That's what I'm saying. Like you
Yeah.
start as a hobby. If you like working with your hands, you could paint nails, right?
You could paint nails. You could do anything. Like now with the power of the internet, you could legit do any. You can go freelance. You could go
That's true.
write essays
You
for
document it.
You could go do any. Like there's so many things that you can do now.
You'll be the Chat GPT expert instead of Google.
You could just chat GPT. You could go on Fiverr and be like, I'll write an essay for you, and then just put it into Chat GPT, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. There's so many ways now. It's like
Yeah.
insane.
I'm gonna throw this out there because my sister and my brother and myself, we don't have real jobs. If you put it that way, like my sister went to school to be a vet tech. She was going to work at a veterinarian clinic. She's like, I really like animals. I like dogs. She bought some dogs. She started breeding them. She started selling them for like a few $1,000s a puppy. She's like 17 years old. She's like, oh, this is good. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep on doing this. Now she has a kennel called Swiss Ridge Kennels. She built like $1 million kennel. She bought a farm
insane.
near Toronto, and she sells her dogs. Like Austin Matthews has a dog from her.
No way.
Connor McDavid has a pup from her. Bobby Orr.
Let's go visit this farm. Let's go visit this
uh,
legendary farm,
Yeah.
dog farm we got
I
going.
think Gretzky has one. Phil Kessel had a
Come
poodle from
on.
her.
Basically, like the exclusive NHL dog.
Ashton,
finder.
Why-
Ashton Kutcher.
Why are we
and-
not getting content out of this?
Mila
Let's get,
Kunitz?
like, when they come pick these
No,
dogs
no,
up.
like, she keeps it all private. Like
That's
she never
insane.
like posts
part of the
about it, stuff like that.
package.
Which like
You might
she's
get a little more for the dogs if you show the pedigree.
She's
Holy.
doing
yeah, no,
doing
she's doing
fine.
fine, eh?
Oh, she's super professional, but like she made a business out of like she liked animals. She always loved animals growing up,
Yeah.
and she made a business out of that. My brother, he loves building stuff, right? And he's like, well, like if I like building things, why don't I just build my own house?
Yeah.
Why would I work a job so like 40 years from now I have to pay this mortgage and pay it to the bank? It's like I'll just not work and I'll build my house. So he had a business in the summer where he'd make cash and
Yeah.
like obviously like he'd do well in the summer enough that he could take all that money and put it into building his house.
Yeah.
So he just work in the summer business, and then
And people would say that's risky, but like I feel like you have to take risk in
Yeah.
this world. Like you have to take risk.
The risk when you're starting out is that you might not have money to put food on the table.
Yeah.
But
yes.
like if that's the,
Well,
the
he lived
low,
in a
if
trailer.
that's the lowest point, then you
he
don't
just-
have as much to lose if all you're worrying about is eating.
He bought a
Yeah.
plot of land, like a cheap plot of land, and he just got a trailer at an auction, and he just lived on. So now he has no bills.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's living in a trailer. He's cooking like craft dinner on his little hot plate there.
Yeah. There's nothing more dangerous than someone with nothing left to lose. And
Yeah.
I like the way you said that because that's kind of how I felt.
Yeah.
I felt like
That makes sense. Yeah.
it was like I'm back against the wall. Like what do I have to lose now? Like what is it? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of I think that's a big thing. Like when you're fearless and you have nothing left to lose, you're dangerous because I don't think there's anything more dangerous than someone that has nothing to lose.
So does that lead into when you started to put yourself out there on the internet? then,
A
or-
little, yeah. Like so now we're getting kind of into that aspect where it was like year 4, whatever. I get through this degree, and now it's, like, what do I do?
Right.
what is it that I do? Like I
Start to actually think about
yeah.
what am I gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah, now it's like, what do I got this. I'm still feeling not so amazing, whatever. We're in this pandemic crap stuff, and it's like, okay, like everyone, it was kind of like everyone's messed up right now.
Right.
Like that's where it felt. It's like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
kind of just like kind of blame this all on my messing up on all the stuff because everyone was messed up at that point.
Yeah, it took people to dark places and
Yeah.
people real about like it just felt like I think it was the fear of the unknown. Even
Yes,
myself, and
yes.
I find myself very like I feel very stoic. Like I don't have too many highs or lows. I'm just kind of like always chill, cool. Like
Yeah, I like
you know. But even during that, and I've never really felt like mental like anxiety or like depression or anything like that. But at times I'm like, man, like I feel like lost. I just felt this lost
Yeah.
feeling. Like I don't know what's going to happen. And then I found it. It's the fear of the unknown. I don't know what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
makes
Everyone
things,
felt that. It was
Yeah.
it was the scare. A lot of people were scared. People were like, family, like masks everywhere. Everyone was like, "What's going on here?" And at this point, I'd been feeling like that. So like this is like kind of now where I'm kind of like, oh,
You're like, welcome to the party.
yeah,
everyone."
welcome to the party, everyone. I've been feeling like this, and now it was kind of like, oh, like everyone's kind of feeling this way. Like I'm not alone. I didn't feel like I was alone in that feeling.
depression party.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like it was like, yeah, like other people are feeling this. Like I kind of like, all right. And then this is like a point where my buddy Ben, shout out to Ben, absolute legend, like my best friend, like just a legend. He started just like reading a lot. He started reading a lot of just
A lot more time on his
started
hands.
reading a lot about Rockefeller. He started like, reading about the system,
Yeah.
reading about everything. And I was in the system, so I was very defensive on the system of what I was.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, what do you mean, like? And he was trying to like kind of like open me up to truths that I wasn't able. My ego was defending
Right.
because I just went to school for 4 years. I was like, I need this school. I got this degree, and he was trying to like open me up to like truths of the world.
Mhm.
And it was like I wasn't listening to him, and then it was all of a sudden we're in this thing. I started questioning stuff. I started questioning a lot of stuff in this period of time, especially with this pandemic. I was really started to like just start thinking. I started reading a lot, started looking into different philosophies, different books, just history, and at this point, I started questioning everything. I started questioning. I'm like, I questioned everything I just went through. Like, put on these medication. Why was I put on those? And I was like, I was obviously I was like I was asking for them, but like there wasn't really a background check on like I was like, what's going on? Like, and then at this school at the university, it was like I remember vividly. It was like we like to torment our kids, or like we like to torment our students. I remember writing that down because at this point,
What?
I was this is what the lady said before like a big project we were do. Well, we like to torment you guys, and I'm like, yeah, you do like to like this. This whole school is a big.
You're not really joking.
You guys put me through some freaking mental warfare, man, at this school with all this these projects with this. Getting outcome oriented, all this anxiety, these examinations,
Yeah.
and I was started questioning. I'm like, I don't like these schools. I don't really like these institutions. I'm not rocking with any of it. And this is when I started back against the wall. Like, all right, what is it that I like to do? Like, I'm really gonna go do something here. And I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Mhm.
I really don't care what anyone thinks. I don't.
Got nothing to lose.
Everyone's in the system because I was like, oh, I'm out of the system. I'm anti-system. Everyone in the system, I don't care what they think. Like that was what I was thinking. I'm like, you know what? I'm not like any of these other people. These sheep. I was on that like.
You were Neo. from
I
the
was on
Matrix,
that.
eh? You
Yeah,
took the
yeah,
red pill?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. I took the red pill. if you guys have seen the Matrix, I took the red pill.
If
and-
you've seen The Matrix.
Yeah, you take the red pill, and you never go back, and it opens your mind up to things, and that's just real. And then there's also something real called being black pilled. And so for a while there, I was really black pilled, and it was like, all right, so you open your mind up to these truths. You see the world isn't what you thought it was, and there's a lot of bad, but there's also good. But you don't see the good, you see the bad. The black pills, you see all the bad.
I'm gonna defend the system because I think the system is in place to make things easier, to give some structure. The problem with any sort of system is if it's misused, if it's abused, and
Yes.
then there is a problem because Otherwise, it's anarchy. And if anyone read Lord of the Flies, it's like, you know, you
I
can't
had to
have
read that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can't have a society with no sort of set structure and rules. Otherwise, it's just all
But
out
Jared, I'm
chaos.
20. I'm 20
Yeah,
years
yeah,
old.
yeah,
I
yeah.
smoke weed.
Yeah.
I'm, you know what I mean? I'm like
it's a-
anti-establishment. I just was just, and so at this point, I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking I'm hippie. I'm a hippie. I'm
That's-
60s hippie
That's
vibes.
fine. Things need to be challenged.
I'm
It's important.
I'm anti-war. I'm anti-whatever. Like I'm on this like peace and love thing.
I'm going to go out and say, in a way, you are part of the system because a system
100%.
can't be a system. The people who
Yes.
challenge the system.
Yeah, it's yin and yang. You
It's
can't have an
important,
outside without an
right?
inside. You can't have an inside without an outside.
It's how the system becomes more efficient
Yeah.
because the pole, right? The pendulum swing.
So exactly. So at this point, I'm anti-system. Okay, that's where I'm at.
Yep.
What's anti-system? Crypto, right? So I'm like, crypto is the most anti-system thing ever, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm going hard at this. I'm like, this is we need this. I'm like, we need this stuff because I'm anti whatever. And then I start making videos. I start making I was like, I'm gonna put some money in crypto, whatever. And then as I learn about this, I started making videos. I started going hard. I put my personality. It was called Chips and Crypto, and it was every day I made 4 videos a day, and it would just be like updating people in the market. I was researching so much about crypto that I
You were
was
just
like
sharing what you
I
were
was just because I would
learning,
have
yeah.
conversations. Are you into crypto? Every person that I met, I would talk about crypto, and I was like, hey, why do I
saw
just
the TikToks where it's like when you meet a guy at the bar and he shows you his crypto. Like,
exactly? I was this guy, so I'm like, instead of like talking to people about it, let me just go talk to people that actually want to hear about it.
Right.
And I was like, let me build a little thing up in the crypto space.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just started shredding chips in crypto, and then at that point, I was like, I'm actually kind of having fun with this. I'm like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like this
Like
is
creating the
this
videos.
creating things fun.
Right.
Yeah, this creating thing is what I was missing, and I was like, this is actually I like doing this.
what did Bitcoin do? What did Bitcoin do?
Yeah, so I'm
double dip.
Yeah,
You buy
exactly.
the dip.
Triple
You buy the
dip,
dip.
quadruple dip.
Triple dip.
Right? So I had this chips and crypto character. I'd be on Twitter. I'd go to these Twitter spaces. And at this point, I didn't put my like I was just like, oh, let me just go talk in these spaces. And I started learning about my energy. People love chips and crypto. But no one no one saw my face. I didn't have my face. I had my NFT. So like everyone
Right.
just loved chips and crypto's energy. Everyone was like,
Nice.
Chips,
Right.
you're bringing energy. We love it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I have a lot of effect on people with this energy I'm bringing through
Love
these
it.
Twitter spaces.
Discovery.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, so energy's a real thing. Energy, like, so I'd come into these spaces and no one knew my face. It was just accepting my energy, and it was like, all right. At this point, I'd gone through a lot of mental stuff. I started learning, reading about myself. Alan Watts, if you guys want to know, tap in. Alan Watts. At this point, I was doing the crypto stuff, reading about Alan Watts, philosophy. I was like journaling now. My buddy Ben got me into journaling. I was like, I'm not gonna journal, but now I'm gonna journal.
Heavy character development. going on
Heavy,
here.
bro.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm about to turn into. I started running. I was running like every day.
Amazing.
I'd run like 7 kilometers, and I was like shredded 6-pack. Like, I was eating protein. I'm gonna get back on that. I'm on that right now.
Exercise is so good for your mental
Yeah, dude,
well-being.
running, especially for the mental. Like,
During the whole lockdown and stuff, I just felt like a waste. And one morning, I'm like, I just need to work out. And I had a really good workout, and a cold shower in the morning. I'm like, man, I
Then the
feel
rest
like a
of the day you
different
feel good.
person. Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
energy
Dude,
for the
you
whole
do,
day.
man.
Yeah.
When you get a nice sweat going, and so that point it's running. It's running for me. It was running a beast. Like I was getting outside. I was framing, bro. I got a job framing. I was like, all right, know what? I'm going way off the path. My dad knew a guy. They brought me on a 2-man crew. I banged up like 7 houses, and I was shredded. I was working on my mindset. There was no pressure because I was bringing money, and it wasn't even in any of the job I wanted to do. I went to the university for 4 years, but now I'm framing.
But it doesn't matter. It's experience.
It
You're
was
learning.
great. I was learning how to saw. I was climbing stuff. It was dangerous.
Right now,
Everything I needed, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
right now in my mind, there's a movie montage. You know, in the part where the character turns
Chippy's like
around,
sawing stuff.
Yo, dude,
he's
it
got
was
the
insane.
slow mo.
I'm on the roof. I'm on a 12-pitch roof,
running. You're making.
saving someone's life,
It's,
bro.
it's like the main character has hit rock bottom, but
Yes.
then they turn their life around, and you're on the comeback. The montage is happening in my mind right now.
literally it, bro. It's on some like out of a movie.
Future movie on Chippy
Bro.
coming.
Like it was out of a movie, and like at that point, like I was doing this. I was very alone. Like I had like a thing happen relationship wise with a lot of close people, and I have love for them. Shout out, like it's all love. That kind of helped me, like, because that was another mental thing I had to go and process.
Mhm.
But I was like, you know what? I had to think, okay, if I'm thinking about that situation and thinking about them all the time, and they're just living their life not thinking about me, like it's like I'm trying to like hurt them by poisoning myself. It's like I'm just thinking about their bad, like I'm like, oh, whatever. And then I realized, okay, I there must have been something that I did in that situation too. It's not just all them. And
Yeah.
I started looking, oh, it's also could have been me. And it was like that's when I really started like becoming more self-aware. When I was like, oh, like I with my terrible attitude, I'm affecting my parents. I'm affecting my everyone around me. If I'm depressed and I'm low and
Energy. Yeah.
I have low energy, I'm affecting everyone in my whole environment. And I was like, holy, all I am is energy.
Yeah.
I am not my name. I am not anything. I am just energy in the room right now.
Zen.
Zen, bro. And I got on this like just like this wave of like being present, being like getting my energy right. Like I would go out and then it started being like I'm gonna smile at people or I'm gonna like. So I remember coming out of the car and I smiled at my buddy and he smiled back and I'm like this stuff works. I smiled
Right,
and
that's
then
great,
and I got a
yeah.
return. I got smiled back. I made you smile and you didn't even. And I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if this works. I'm like, what if this works? Because I started thinking about energy. So my buddy pulls up in the whip, whatever. I just go. I just smile. And he smiles back. And I'm like, it works, dude. Whatever it is that you give to the world, you're going to receive back.
It's like when you call your friends, but you answer the phone in a baby voice, and then you see if they talk back in a baby voice back. You know, are you on the same level?
Dude, it's it. So it was like at this point, I'm like, okay, like energy's real. Energy's like a thing. And I'm going to be this energy. So then that really helped with the videos because I accepted this. I do have good energy. I am able, people like this energy.
Everyone has energy. It's like, are they going to let it out? Are they going to show it?
It's like I finally accepted. Like I stopped beating myself up. I stopped like wanting to change myself, and it was like I'm just gonna accept who I am.
There you go.
And that was like the big journey. And then so the crypto videos stopped because crypto got annihilated, and then it was snowboarding, and then it was university skits because I was doing university skits because like I was so down bad and like there's so many other people that are experiencing that same feeling.
Right.
I was like, let me just relate to them on such a big level, like exams, coffee, nicotine. Like it was just like this is funny because like at this point I'm like, all right, like I'm just gonna be this character that just what everyone's not willing to do on TikTok, I'm gonna do. So I was swearing a lot at this time. Like I was like, I just don't care. It was at a point where I'm gonna swear, I'm gonna be this belligerent character, like, and try to make people laugh. And that was
let loose and see.
So Coach
how it
Chippy
goes,
started. If you watch the first Coach Chippy videos,
I have.
there was F-bombs. It was just like I just didn't care. Like
I scrolled back. I watched some of your earlier videos.
they're good.
There's a lot once you start going back.
I was 15 a day once, dude.
But you are much more out there in your more recent videos, and that's I think that you've got videos and it's like 200 views, 300 views, 200 views, but it feels like I'm not really connecting. It's not as authentic. It's almost like you read something and then you just said it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like really you. It's something that you found interesting and you wanted to share it and kind of like get it out there. But now I feel, even though you're doing skits and characters, you are putting.
You still feel the energy.
Yeah, and you're putting a piece of yourself.
Well, because at that point, I was not in a good spot. Like a lot of that content, I haven't removed it, but like a lot of that content where it's like I was just like really not doing well, and it was like all I wanted to do, I was like, if no one's vibing today, just vibe. And like I wasn't vibing. Yeah. But like it was like I was really calm, like I was very like timid. It was like, and I just wanted to help people because I'm like, if you guys are feeling how I'm feeling. Like, let's just vibe today. I'm like, I remember making that content every day. I'd be like, daily vibe check. If you're not vibing today, just vibe out. And I was like, this is kind of cool. What if I became the guy that blew up because of this vibe stuff?
Right.
And it was like, oh, like if you're not, what up? If you're not vibing today, let's vibe out. Like that was the content. That was the angle. And I was like, I just want to be the guy that, like, what do I want to be known for? Like, I want to be for good stuff. Like, I want to be known for like laughter. Be the vibe guy.
Right.
And then that kind of like as I grew on the content, as I became more comfortable with it, I got accepted. A big thing is like when you're making content is like people accepted it and people were actually, this is funny. I like this. This is awesome.
Right.
Keep doing it. I think that was a big thing was like being accepted. And
in a way, now you are bringing the vibe. You're doing what you intended to do earlier on.
Yeah.
But you tried it in such a direct approach that it wasn't like, okay, I get it, right? You're just saying it.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it.
Now it's living it and being, that's the big difference.
You are it, and that's more entertaining and that's more fun.
A lot of growth, a lot of spiritual growth there. Like instead of just saying, let's be the vibe, I am the vibe.
Yeah.
And like that's the energy's in the right spot. Yeah. So that was it. It was a lot of internal work and really being back against the wall not knowing what I wanted to do, and then just being like, hey, I'm gonna do this stuff. I'm gonna put myself out there. Like, man, like, 'cause I was like, what if I die tomorrow? Like, let me just put this out there. Like that's how I started looking at it. Like, I'm gonna put this out there. I'm a different person in 5 minutes, so I'm gonna put this content. You can judge whoever that is. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know, and everyone could say that. Like, I'm not saying I went through just crazy stuff, but like,
Right.
I've been through enough mentally, like, where I'm not gonna let a little negative comment like affect me. And like that's the biggest thing is like having enough confidence in yourself to just like, yeah, people are gonna say what they want, but like at the end of the day, a lot of people don't know who they are.
If you don't accept
Yeah.
negative energy coming in and you only give positive energy out, right? Like
Yeah, it's the yin and yang. There's gonna
it's
be
gonna
good-
die. Like
There's no good without
Yeah.
bad. There's no life without death. There's no happy without sad. I started reading about Buddhism. I started like these symbols and like for life, and that's why like and that's where the don't think just flow style flow is like my soul.
right.
Like, it's really a thing of like what is it that now all these lessons that I've learned, let go.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think too much, just flow. Like now it's like you can kind of see where all that stuff's come from. It's like
Yeah.
I want to help people that are going through what I went through,
Mhm.
and I don't really know how I'm gonna. I like how I've been able to speak about this on here because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've never really communicated like.
Well, it's
my
tough to
story, right?
communicate it when you're trying to put out that positive energy.
Yeah,
It's hard to reflect on the negative
yeah, it
things that
is.
led to it
It
unless
is.
it's in a context like this
And
where
especially
Yeah.
on social, you need a 45-second banger.
yeah, how are you supposed to like talk about your life journey in
it's
45
like, I gotta
seconds?
be the high energy guy all the time. So it's like
Yeah.
Well, that's what this platform is all about. Like
Yeah,
you're
it's super
connecting on a
dope.
deeper level, and for
Super
the people
dope.
who
And we hope
want
that
more.
everyone's enjoyed your story.
yeah.
I'm sure
Sorry
there's
guys
lots
if it
more.
got a little
Oh no, I'm
dark there
That
for a
was
little bit.
deeper than I
I-
thought it was going to be.
That was last for.
I thought we
I
were
like
just gonna go toe drag release for about half an hour.
I mean,
yeah.
I honestly think
No, I'm just kidding.
we could like go a little deeper into
Yeah,
the
there's tons of stuff.
creation side of things.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Yeah, we
on
can
a different podcast.
do a segment on the next pod.
Yeah, I would love
about,
to. Like, I love. Yeah, I love talking.
Well, I'm sure
myself.
people would like to hear kind of the differences in like each of our creative.
Yeah, I think that'd be
processes.
cool.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be
we're
super.
we're gonna
cool.
call this like the part one because
Yeah, that was a long
let's-
part one.
no, that's great though. It's amazing. That's we touched on a lot
I
of
feel
topics. and
more. I feel more understood.
I feel
There you go.
connected.
deeper
I feel
connection
connected
you
to
guys
you,
now,
man.
too.
It's great
The
to hear.
Puck
that stuff.
Daddies are uniting even further.
100%. 100%.
But yeah, like, and we can talk about things blowing up, the viral videos, the effect.
Yeah, it's all a byproduct
the
of-
process and all that. You know.
Knowing yourself. I
So
think.
anyway, how about Bo Horvat getting traded?
Oh.
The
just
next one.
kidding.
No. I mean, let's know the
I could talk.
comments.
Yeah, talk about Bo. We
Let-
could talk about Bo for a bit.
I was just joking because
No,
it's
no.
such a hard right turn.
It's great.
Bo Horvat to the Vancouver from Vancouver
From
to
Vancouver to Islanders.
Islanders,
Yeah.
yep.
Beauvillier.
Well, hold on, let's just wrap up this thing.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments anything else you want, like carrying on this conversation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or about social media content creation, about Chippy's experience of like he blew up like 6 months basically, went
Yeah.
from like making a lot of videos, but now like they're like the Maple Leafs just used your
that's
sound.
great. Double dip.
We
Double
got
dip stuff, guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
we got like Spit and Chicklets got the shout out there. I mean,
that's
they're
crazy.
no Puck Daddy, but
I haven't even
whatever.
like for I haven't, this 6 months has been so crazy. It's like I haven't like processed it.
Yeah.
It's been so grind mode where it's like
Mhm.
I don't even know like
You're just go. You
just
haven't had time to reflect
I
as
haven't
much.
even like
Here's what I showed Hayden, and I'll try to find the clip real quick. It's just like all these buttons. TikTok always changes where their stuff is.
yeah. They do.
What was it? Bar Down that posted Connor Bedard.
Oh yeah.
His goal. I'll see if I can find it. But basically, every comment on it was it? Yeah. So it's Bedard has 20 goals. This one has like 300,000 views.
Yeah.
The top comment here: toe drag release. That's it, Bedsy. That's 1,000 likes.
That's
The-
crazy.
the
yeah,
next
it's actually
comment,
nuts.
You're taking over the hockey
Yeah.
world. Toe drag release. Toe drag release. That's it, Bedsy. That's the second comment. The third comment: toe drag release. Toe drag release. That's it, Bedsy. Come on, right?
And they're all the top comments
It's
too.
hilarious,
the,
dude.
the
like,
fourth top comment with 300
did he
votes.
do?
What did he do? He triple dipped. That's you,
That's it.
right?
Yeah, that's,
And then the fifth comment is not about you, but the sixth is Coach Chippy would be proud, right? Toe drag release. It's all
insane, bro.
you're taking over.
and
It's a wave across.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's
TikTok,
wild.
I think the toe drag. So like also like I realized okay like this is a wave.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like the toe
exactly.
drag. there's gonna be a lot more sayings out there. There's
Oh,
gonna be a
for
lot
sure,
more,
yeah.
but like,
Let's
yeah,
keep it going.
I'm embracing the toe drag release.
Yeah,
Right? And
why not?
I'm seeing people comment they'll have to, like whatever. Like you're gonna have to hear it for a little longer.
Yeah.
I'm not done with the toe
No,
drag
it's great.
release.
Here's the thing. Any trend, there's going to be the early adopters,
Yeah.
right? Then there's like the main people who are really caps, and then once you get up there's going to be people that are fighting it. Where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
people are
yeah,
like,
they're-
"Oh, I hear it all the
Yeah.
time, right? It happens with anything, with a song. Like
Yeah.
everyone loves it, and then people start hating it because they hear it all the time.
Yeah.
And then it starts coming down, and then you'll have like the laggards who are,
Yeah,
like, they're still
yeah.
using it, but like, dude, that was like last year. Like, you're still
Yeah, like I'm just embracing. Like I know it. Like I've seen trends and how they work, and like this is kind of a
Right,
trend.
yeah.
Like I've kind of like
It's a
this
trend
toe
for
drag
sure.
release is definitely a trend right now.
But
But like Bedard, dude, it's because this kid's so special
yeah,
that this like
Yeah.
Bedard content goes crazy right now.
Oh,
like
for sure.
anytime anyone's posting anything about this, because this kid's like, what does he have? 100 points in 30 games in
It's
the
ridiculous.
W. Like
yeah.
what's
He-
going
I
on?
think he had
Like,
what, like 9 goals in 3 games or something.
Since
no,
Since
no,
the World
20,
Jays, like-
20 goals in 9 games.
Oh, the okay.
this
20
is
goals.
absurd, man.
Jeez,
Are
yeah.
these guys scrubs? Like who is he playing against, man? Like, or is he just that much friggin' better?
I
Like,
think he's just
I
that good.
looked at his stats. He gets like
it's assists too.
well, he gets like 13 shots on goal per game.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot
And
of
he
shots.
scores 3 to 4 of them.
I mean,
So shifty.
but he could be putting 9 in. Like a lot of guys. No, that's what I'm saying. In the NHL, if you get a hat trick, you probably got 5 shots on goal, maybe 6, and like 3 of the
But that's
5
a
or 3
good night. Like
That's a good night.
on average, like guys are shooting probably like
No.
an Austin Matthews style player will average around like 12% shooting percentage.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is like the best player on the team might get 5 or 6 shots on goal. That's the best player. But usually, sometimes none of them go on. Sometimes 1 go in.
Mhm.
Right. On a good night where everything's going your way, 3 of the 6 go in, and that's a hattie. But he's
Right.
getting 13 shots on goal.
He's over.
What happens?
I mean, that's in a different league.
I think he's
but
Ovi.
yeah.
Like I think he like
no,
this,
difference.
he doesn't know, but like I just think he's Ovi in the sense where he doesn't even know where that shot's going.
Oh,
Like he
Like, he
he
just-
shuts his eyes. Like Ovi does the same thing. If you like Ovi just hits that puck as hard as possible.
Yeah.
and
Betsy
it
does
just
the
goes
same
in.
thing.
Like,
Betsy
Betsy's
does
not
the
even
same
looking,
thing
man.
with the toe drag
He's
release, just
he's
not a
just
slap shot.
Have you seen his eye squint?
But-
He's just
yeah.
like
The thing is, when you're a goal scorer, you don't need to even have your eyes open because you know where the net is, you know where the goalie is, you know
Exactly,
where
it's
you
feel,
can look
man.
at the markings on the ice, look down, and just rip it, and you can put it left side, right side, high, low. Like
Yeah,
you can
like
aim
he-
without even because you're just so aware of your surroundings. Like
yeah,
the guy was born in the Matrix. You know?
70+ points next
He's
year.
Neo of
That's what
the
I'm saying.
Does
oh,
Bedard
of
get
the
70 plus?
WHL. Yeah.
70+?
He knows he's cutting. He's done it 1,000 times where he cuts past the D. He's pretty much on the goal line. He knows there's a 2-inch opening right there. He could close his eyes and put it there sometimes.
But have you seen the way he breaks these guys' ankles?
I
Like,
bet
he's
you
like
his first year in the league, he'll break 100 points.
You think 100 in the
I was gonna
league?
say
I don't know.
70. I was gonna
I'd
say 70 plus. I said 70.
Points,
Do you think
yeah.
he's 70? You think he's above 70?
No,
I think he's like
You-
I think he's at least 90 points.
he's going to need an adjustment
I
period.
don't
just-
know, man.
90 points first
I
year in
like
the
that
NHL.
take. Like I like that take. I'm probably like on that take too.
Like the discussion will
But-
be by the end of the year, is he going to reach 100? I'm calling it right now.
I would say no. I think he'll get pushed around a little. He's going to be more like Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes was
Yeah, I
a great player, not on Bedard level as far as
he
move
kind of
making
was
stuff.
though.
But
Like, have you seen his points? Like what he was putting up in like the
okay.
bar, like when he was young. Like
But
he had like
he wasn't as
crazy
hyped.
No,
he wasn't as hyped.
I'll-
But maybe because he's American, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Canadians
He was-
get more
okay, I
love.
will say that my take depends on what team he goes to.
I think it depends on his
But-
start. I think it depends on his first 4 games.
Yeah.
Like if he gets like an Austin Matthews type start where he scores his first game, like I feel like it
Yeah.
could be tough if you go a couple.
Yeah,
Like
true.
he needs to have like his first 4. He needs to have one in his first 4 games.
Here's
Yeah,
the thing.
there's a few ifs, but I'm just saying that's
Yeah,
my take.
I like
90,
that take.
90 plus.
I like that. It's a strong.
This
it's a strong.
this
take.
this goal right here, he makes this guy look like the wild, wacky, inflatable tube man. Like, look, no,
Yeah.
exactly. No NHL defenseman is doing this, right?
No, look at this.
He's the
guy,
wild,
man.
wacky, inflatable tube man. Okay, so we're not getting Hedman doing that out there. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So he's not getting 13 shots on goal in the end. He might get 2 or 3 per game. Right? Is he going to snipe a few? But he's going to be playing against men who are going to push
Yeah.
him around, and that's going to make a difference. I know everyone says that.
Have
like,
you
that's
seen the forearms though?
Yeah, but like
that's
Mitch,
what they said about-
Mitch Marner. Like I just like Mitch Marner's a small guy. He doesn't
but
really.
he's-
No one hits him.
he
Like,
had a slow start.
did he though?
Yeah.
I feel like he had like
No.
60 something.
Yeah, 60. That's like he's not putting up
but,
100.
but he's
what
not.
I'm saying.
He's not first overall.
Yeah.
But
He wasn't expected. He wasn't. Yeah, and
Marner
he was like on
was
fourth
Marner-
line. But
Marner
but he
is
was playing
like
for
a-
Babcock too.
Marner's
Marner didn't get that like. if
the
he got-
difference is that Marner
the first 2
doesn't
lines.
have as good of a shot.
Yeah,
Oh,
So why I'm saying 90 plus is because Marner got 60 points, which majority were assists.
Well, let's remember Babcock. He was playing a fourth line minutes the
Yeah.
first year. Like he wasn't getting. Bedard's going to get first line minutes.
So
Yeah.
this is what I mean.
I
Like
think.
I think like a smaller player, he might take a couple, like at least a year to warm up. Like
Mitch is
Jack
insane.
Hughes. But look, 61 points next season, 69.
This is Marner.
Yeah, Marner. Then 94. These are shortened seasons.
What's he on pace? What's he
97.
got this year?
He's at 59 and 51.
Not as good as I thought. Who the league leaguer? I haven't.
We got McDavid for sure.
McDavid's- I know, like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think Sebastian. I don't know who else is that. So we're gonna look at Jack Hughes' stats here, right? Because I'd say like
Look
comparable
at his
player.
I was thinking his junior
like-
stats were crazy.
Oh, I mean, but this is U.S. development, so
Oh,
like
yeah.
not very many games. So he doesn't have, but like 39 points in 18 games. That's good. So 21 points in 61, his first NHL season. Then 31 points in 56. Then 56 and 49, and now he's 64 and 49. So like you can see as he kind of grows and
develops like stronger.
yeah. Like he's 5'11", 175. He probably entered the league like 5'10", 160 or something, right? Like
I feel
So,
like
but
Bedard's
Bedsy-
strong. Bedsy's 185.
Bedsy's gonna be 90 plus first year, 90 plus second year. Then he's gonna be a
150, like,
career over
yeah.
100 like McDavid every year.
I could see that, but I'd say like 70 his first year just because
Like McDavid has the speed, man. Like
That's what I'm saying.
True,
I
yeah.
just don't like McDavid. He's not gonna be better than McDavid.
No, he's not gonna be better, but he'll
And I
be
think McDavid
next.
came into the league like 6'2", something, right? You know
yeah,
what I mean?
he's like perfect. He's like 6'2", like
Right.
perfect stature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best skater in the world, can shoot hands.
Yeah, he's not going to be McDavid level
Not his
for
first.
for
not
like
his first.
probably 8 years.
He will be
Yeah.
a shifty player once he like
Yeah.
gets his bearings, but I just don't think he's gonna crush his first season.
All right,
He'll
we'll
do
have to.
How exciting!
Only
is that?
time will tell.
Isn't that
Only
so
time.
exciting?
It is exciting.
Yeah.
To have this guy coming through.
Uh-huh.
What team do you want him to be on?
Ooh.
I think we talked about this, but let's just.
Oh well, in the previous episode, I said Vancouver just
Right.
because I feel like they've had
That's
a
a
lot
good
of
team.
shit.
I 100% would like Vancouver.
Because it's like a hometown for
And
him.
He's a BC boy.
But I also
great.
wouldn't mind to have him play against the Leafs more. It'd actually be fun to watch.
Yeah, it would be fun to watch.
I'd like him on a Canadian team as well.
I wouldn't
And-
mind seeing him. I said Montreal, but
Yeah, and
That's what I mean. Montreal would be a good one.
what team would be hilarious that he went to?
Chicago.
actually
he's gonna go to
think-
Chicago.
You think so?
I almost wish that Ottawa would
100%.
tank and they would get
Oh
him.
my gosh, yeah.
Because I think like him and Stutzla and like Shabbat and
Yeah, they're nasty.
to
Ottawa's,
chalk, like-
Ottawa's got like #1 power play in the league. Like they just can't score 5-on-5.
yeah.
Their special teams is crazy.
I would say it would be hilarious if he ends up on the Oilers because they
No chance, man.
because they had
Oh my
Gretzky
God.
and then McDavid and then they get Bedard
Big
and,
McDavid,
Draisaitl,
Bedard.
and they had a stretch where they had like I think
Nugent Hopkins, Taylor Hall,
yeah
first
first overall
Yakupov.
first overall
Yakupov was a
Three-
bust. Yeah.
3 in a row
bust.
first overall and then they got Draisaitl and then they got I mean they had like so many top 5 picks and they just were a sinkhole of talent.
Yeah.
Until they finally got McDavid, and even then, I think they might have gotten one more after McDavid, and then they're finally like in the middle somewhere. But they should be way better than they.
Yeah.
Like with
How are they so?
3 top round picks.
And you have McDavid. Like this guy, like
Yeah,
Well, it's
every-
hockey, right? It's not
Yeah.
one player can't make the team. It's because the GM hasn't put a team
Still,
around
but-
him
no
for
defense.
5
Like,
years.
what's their problem? I haven't watched enough. Is it just their defense stink? Because they're
Well,
scoring. No, they got to be scoring.
So they've slowly made improvements, but it's taken like 5 years for them to develop a team around them. And
Yeah.
even still, it's like lacking on the bottom 6, and probably like the second pair of D is weak.
all I'm saying is when you have that many top draft picks and you're not building a decent team, something is wrong.
What are they?
let's-
What position are they?
Well,
in?
they're also
Are they
trading
below
away
LA?
half their like Hall was
LA's
gone.
in it?
Yeah, I know, but like make good trades. You know what I mean? Like so they're in 12th place in the league.
Jeez.
Vegas, which is an expansion team, is above them.
Vegas has
Seattle,
been nice, though.
Seattle is above them, right? Like these guys are working with the pieces they have.
To be fair, the expansion teams now get a lot better of a chance than they used to.
Yeah.
It used to
Well,
be
look
you're
at
an
that.
you're an
Vegas
expansion
made the
team.
cup final.
Yeah, well, if you're an expansion
Yeah,
team in
that was wild. That was
1995,
Wild.
you were trash. It
like
was-
the Thrashers
they
or
took-
whatever.
oh, the Thrashers and the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
I remember they came to the league and they were just terrible. Like
Well, because they got the scraps,
yes,
right? There was no like you have to give up this from your team. They get to pick this
had no
player.
hope.
What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff?
What do you mean?
Who the top 12 teams make it?
Mm.
No, 16.
16. Oh,
Yeah.
well, so Oilers are in it. There's
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're
I'm-
in a
I'm-
wild
Oh, it's
card.
the division thing, though.
The divisions, yeah.
Oh, the divisions is I guess.
Well, the wild card is for
wild card spot.
yeah.
Like to have that much talent.
Do
and
we
that many
like this
draft picks.
division stuff?
No,
No,
No, I
That's
want
one thing I would change
I
about the
can't
playoff
stand it.
structure.
Why
I
are we
want 1
playing
versus 8.
Tampa and
1-8,
Boston?
yeah.
Why do we always have to play
I know.
Tampa or Boston?
Well, let's
Like,
ridiculous.
It's
if
insane.
if we
man.
were 1 versus 8, who would the Leafs be playing right now? The Rangers?
if we go what
It'd be
division?
2 versus
There you go.
7.
Yeah, it'd be Boston versus Montreal. As it stands now, Boston versus Montreal and Toronto versus Ottawa. That seems
like-
fair,
Yeah, for
Let's
the
do
first
that.
round. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, like what
Tampa
are we
versus
saying?
Detroit, Buffalo versus Florida. Like that's
Wait, is
just,
Ottawa in it?
yeah.
Oh, they're not going to make. Are they
Wild
the wild
card?
card? No way.
No, Jerry, you got to take the
No.
top 4 from each division.
Oh, sorry.
Ottawa's not in it.
I did it wrong.
Yeah. Say, is
no,
Ottawa
no,
in
it
this
would
mix
be
here?
who's second in the
Yeah.
second bottom.
So
Third, no, yeah, New York Rangers.
yeah, sorry, I
Leafs
was reading
versus
that.
Rangers.
Well,
I was,
we've
I
had
was
some trouble with the
taking
Rangers,
just
but-
from the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't.
Yeah, so it'd be Boston versus what?
Capitals.
Washington.
Yeah.
And then Toronto versus New York Rangers,
Yes.
which is like that seems.
And
bad.
then who would Tampa be against?
Tampa,
New Jersey.
go against-
That'd be a
yeah,
good series.
That's a
Yeah,
good matchup.
it's
And then Buffalo
way
versus
better.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Like playing Toronto versus Tampa in the first.
I don't know why. Like Bettman's just set on it. It's so dumb.
Wait,
That's
no.
insane. Like,
I am reading this wrong still.
yeah, I feel like we got to be a league. Yeah, we got to be a league.
But anyways, we go to wild card, and it's just like you're either gonna play Boston, Toronto, or Tampa, and they're 1, 2, 3, like in the
The
Atlantic.
league. It
Anyways.
must be in the league.
No, it's 1 versus 8 on the East,
It's-
1 versus 8 on the
Yeah,
on the
I
West.
think it's got to be league.
League? No, because then it's not separating East versus West.
Yeah, yeah.
And
You got to play
uh,
the Eastern Conference, Western
Yeah,
Conference.
yeah.
Just we're talking a whole bunch of gibberish right now, guys. We
Yeah.
don't know.
We got to go like NHL 2004 on the EA
Stanley Cup
Sports.
predictions: Boston versus the field. Boston's not winning it.
You think Carolina goes?
I say Boston gets knocked first.
Well, I
round.
still think
Whoa.
that
Whoa.
Kane will be in Boston.
You think so?
I still think so.
Well, who else would he go to?
Well, not the Islanders now because Bo Horvat's going
Like, what
there.
if we traded? Like, do we have anything that we could?
No, Leafs aren't getting Kane.
What if we
Even though
traded,
I
like,
bet you
Kerfoot? What if
Matthews
we got
would
rid of
love it.
Kerfoot?
No, even still, because like his contract's like 10.5 or
What if
whatever.
they're going to retain? Would they retain? No,
They would retain some, but you'd have to do like a double retention, and they'd have to trade Kerfoot and probably Matthew Nyes or
Yeah, I guess.
a first round pick, which
I'd rather Taves.
I think Taves to Toronto
No,
would be.
is Taves
Taves-
have like health
he's-
problems? No.
No, but he's a great leader.
for 1
Great
year,
leader.
like
Yeah.
for the playoffs, play third line or second line wing.
Both them getting dealt or no?
Yeah,
They're 100% gone.
they want that.
Chicago's getting
They
clear
want
and
Bedard.
shop. Yeah,
They want Bedard.
Okay,
Yeah.
so both those guys are gone. Yeah.
Anything that
I
will
could
help their
see-
team, gone.
Why do I see like Taves in like a Dallas jersey or something like that?
I could see that.
Or I don't know. Like,
I don't know if they would.
who? Like,
Taves to the Jets, Winnipeg.
Taves
Yeah.
to
Winnipeg
Edmonton.
boy.
Taves to Edmonton.
Oh,
Third line center. Who's there?
Ooh, interesting.
Maybe I don't know.
No, but they don't have room. They'd
No.
it'd also be the same thing as the Leafs. They'd have to do a double retention and trade out someone.
So who's like not supposed to be in the playoffs? That's in the playoffs. That has like cap. Like New Jersey.
oh, true. Yeah, who can afford someone?
well, New Jersey was overhyped. I think they would started off really good. and
Because they had that win streak.
yeah, they had a crazy
Oh,
win streak,
yeah.
and then the Leafs broke it with like
They're still.
we
Fourth
were
in
at the
league.
hockey hotel when they
Yeah, I
broke the
remember
streak.
that, I
Yeah,
remember
They're
that.
still fourth in the league, and with 2 games in hand behind Toronto, they're only 2 points behind Toronto, fourth in the league. So they're not doing too bad.
I could see like LA or someone like that taking a stab at them.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah,
is
going
LA
for a
in
run.
it?
Looks like
They're close to a wild card, I think, or
no,
like
no, they're in the Pacific.
they're not a wild card anymore. They're third.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
cool.
good for LA.
Yeah.
LA. I like Kopitar.
You know what I just realized we haven't really done in this podcast is talk about just kind of like what's going on person like.
Yeah, let's just make this a fat episode.
Well, we're already pushing. What were you at? An hour 45.
Yeah, no, we got to wrap it up soon. But
Let's
like
make it 2.
we do it. We're doing a lot.
Yeah.
Like I just installed a sauna next
Yeah.
to the rink.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Our
that
backyard
process.
chronicles are continuing.
Where the skating trail is about to start.
No, let's have you been in the sauna?
It's amazing.
Is
man.
it? Is
I'll
it?
take that
Like,
over a hot
like-
tub.
like
We should
any
do a
day.
podcast in the sauna.
Yeah,
No,
let's do some content in the sauna.
We- I'll get you here. Like you
yeah,
come
I
at-
need to get in that sauna and
come
just
at 9, and we'll just like
toxins just get out.
oh,
right?
it's nice.
Sweat
Man.
everything out.
I'll take that over a hot tub any day. No chemicals, and you just sit there
Sauna
and
right
it's
by
like-
the hockey rink. Go for a skate back in the sauna.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
that's insane.
I got this portable water heater because I'm sick of hooking my hose up to the hot water under the sink. So this portable hot water heater, I'm going to put it right next to the rink.
Well, that's perfect.
And you run the hose
Oh,
down
yeah,
to
so-
it.
to keep it smooth ice.
Yeah,
Is that what it's for?
steamy
That's
hot
sick.
water right at the.
Well, he
source.
already does the hot water, but currently he has to run the hose from his laundry room
house.
all the way down.
Oh.
150 feet worth of hose going
Instead
through
of just running the hose to the heater and then heating it direct. It'd
That's
also be
pricey.
hotter because it doesn't have to
think-
go through like
Yeah.
100 feet of snow.
Ooh,
But
that's
I
gonna
I
be-
think
that's pretty
like
good for the content.
Yeah.
It's supposed to
each
get
week
cold too.
we sort of talk about like what's the
Something that's going on.
craziness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
like
even if
that.
like a video blew up, like talk about like what that was like, sort of thing. Because I posted a few. There's got like 5 million views. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
My YouTube channel's been doing pretty good so far.
So
Yeah, you're
I'm-
crushing it.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
you've been posting the shorts there. Where you got 30,000 subscribers there.
Yeah, I got like 35. Road to 50K. I got a few videos over 20,000. Some of my old ones are like kicking off now that my newer ones are getting more views too.
Yeah, and you
So,
got
so like, and how does that make you feel? Like you feel? Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things. I'm putting out these videos for a while, and I was kind of just doing it whenever I had time, which was very rare. And then once I did one, which was "Can I skate as fast as McDavid?"
I like that video. I watched that.
Once that one kind of blew up a bit, then I was like, okay, well now all of a sudden I want to make more time to do this.
Yeah.
you're doing the GoPro videos, like
Yeah.
and they've been doing
Yeah,
well.
you're
You've got a
yeah,
few
you're
ones.
crushing it.
Like
You're
doing the
crushing it,
GoPro
dude.
content, it's like I'm already at the games, so I'm just kind of introducing like a storyline around each game.
Yeah, your YouTube videos are like really good. Like,
I'm probably gonna do some ODR reviews. I think
Oh yeah.
I started that last
oh,
year.
I want to. I'll come
I
out.
invited Chippy to come.
Yeah, let's
I was
go.
actually thinking I want to throw on the.
I haven't even been to ODR yet. Like,
no.
like not like an outdoor, like public one.
Oh right, yeah. There's one by your house though.
Yeah, there is. I think there's a lot of bodies there too. Like, if we wanted to get content, yeah.
Oh yeah,
like,
nice.
So this is the problem: is that being in the space I'm in, I get invited to do all these cool things in like basically January and February.
Yeah.
And the problem is some of them are really good. So like the NHL invited me to go to the All-Star game,
That's so sick.
and I'm like, well, I can't really say no to that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if I say yes to this, this, and this, I'm basically gone all of February, and that is like the
Prime
time
time
for
for-
your rank
for the
stuff.
best. It's the best part of Canada is February, where we're going to the ODRs and creating content, having fun. In March, it's gone.
Literally,
Yeah.
it's like a window, such a small window.
And a lot of times I go to these places and then I have to like go there and create content and then post it. So I go for like say 3 or 4 days. I come home, I got to work on that content for the next 3 or 4 days, which is keeping me from being.
So are you just gonna like vlog it?
I don't know.
What do you
like,
do? Like,
I'm just gonna try to create and post while I'm there, so I can come home and be free. And then
so like I might be going to the Winter Classic,
nice.
but like
Nice.
I don't know. Like
But-
it's different type of content. Like
Yeah.
for me, like I don't make like you kind of show up and then you like what kind of content.
Well, so for
You-
me,
you
I'm
can
gonna be
create
on the
whatever
ice.
you want,
I'm gonna
right?
be on the ice with the All Stars as they practice for the skills competition.
So how do you get that? Like, are you just gonna film it? Are you just gonna film it yourself? Like who?
Yeah. And I'll just throw a GoPro on. I'll bring a mic and I'll just like
That's
mess around
sick,
with the
okay.
players and I'll try to get them to laugh and
Get little
you know,
snippets.
yeah,
Then you'll
a
send
GoPro,
it.
yeah, have a
then you'll send
GoPro.
it
Just
to
have a
me.
GoPro. So then it's not
Exactly,
like so you're not
easy.
like, oh, can I film this?
No,
Like,
no,
you're just
yeah.
kind of like filming already. And
I'll
it's
put the
not like-
mini right there on the helmet, so it's like inconspicuous, and I'll just skate up and I'll just like do little interviews with them. But I'll try to like get some good sound bites and
Yeah, that's
you know
perfect.
pit them against each other in certain ways.
Ask him about Coach Chip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ask me if he's tuned in. Go ask what's his face? Is Kessel there? Kessel's got to be there. You got voted in.
I don't think so.
from Arizona.
You should have jumped on that train and got everyone to vote him in.
There you go.
I'm surprised he didn't get like Phil the hot. I feel like Phil's just like a guy people would vote in. Like if it for votes, like Phil.
But the thing is, not a lot of people will take the time to vote.
Yeah, I didn't.
And the
yeah.
people that do, or it's like they just pick the obvious
Yeah.
ones, right? Or they'll troll and try to
Yeah,
pick
well,
someone.
that's what I mean. Like Phil Kessel
John
would be a
Scott.
troll. Like Phil Kessel would kind of be like troll. Like we're gonna get Phil. Like
But no, that only works if you have someone leading the charge or like
Yeah.
a Reddit page or something,
yeah,
right?
that's facts.
So like if you let it be like Phil's got to go to the All-Star comp.
Yeah,
He's been
yeah.
training for days.
That's hilarious.
He's been eating glizzies and Coke for a while.
I don't even know what I'm
he
gonna say.
switched to low sodium.
If I meet Phil, I don't even know what I'd say, dude. I'd be like,
You got to bring a package of hot dogs raw and just
yeah.
hand them to him.
No, I'd be like Phil. I feel like he's a beauty. Like hopefully you would.
If
laugh.
he probably hasn't seen it, but if he did, he'd probably laugh.
I don't know, man. I feel like I've made enough now that I've gone pretty crazy that I'm
Yeah.
like Phil. The boys have had to have shown it to him. Like
I love. Oh yeah, for sure. He's got to have
Yeah.
seen it. Some guy on the bus or on
Probably
the plane.
Eichel.
yeah, come on, Ikes.
Yeah.
Oh, Eichel, get off my back.
I'll find a guy like who made it from Vegas.
Who made it from Vegas?
Maybe Eichel.
Marchessault?
Okay, well I'll find
Or
whoever.
maybe it was Riley Smith.
I will ask whoever.
It's either
is there.
they're gonna know or be like, who's that?
I'll ask.
Never see it. That's
I'll ask
hilarious.
whoever's there from
yeah,
Vegas.
that'd be funny. That would be super funny.
See if I can get him to quote it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
That's super cool. So what are you doing at this event? Like, what do they have you doing? Like, you're doing the breakaway?
No, they just sent me a list of events. I should probably print it out. I actually have to leave for the airport in like 2 hours, and I haven't even packed. I don't have any of my stuff. Like,
Okay, so bye.
I thought like you're doing like the breakaway challenge. Or isn't that? I think
I don't know,
something like that.
I don't know.
Like,
I should look. They did send me a list of things that I'd be doing, but I haven't really reviewed it. So
That's
I
pretty
just know I'm gonna
sick.
be there.
So you're doing it like as they're like, it's part of like you're gonna be on TV and shit like stuff.
I don't think I'm gonna be on TV. No.
No?
Well, actually,
Well, they do all the events, no?
well, so I'm supposed to stay there until the actual All-Star game, which is Saturday. But I'm also doing the Braystone charity pond hockey tournament.
Which we talked about on a different episode.
Yeah, we're raising money for cancer research. It's so our community sort of puts it on. I think last year they raised $75,000 for cancer research, and I agreed to be a part of that. And then like 2 weeks later, the NHL was like, "Hey, you want to come to the All-Star game? It's the exact same weekend." I was like I do, but I don't want to like bail on this. So I'm splitting the difference. I'm going to the All-Star game until Friday, and then flying back so I can.
Before the actual game.
Yeah, so I'm not actually there.
Yeah, well, the game you can't really like. You're on the ice with the skills challenge, or you're not? Are you doing the skills?
I'm not doing the skills. I'm like the warm up,
Oh.
but I should look at the list and find out what I'm actually doing.
You go on the ice before they do all the events.
I don't know.
think,
They
right?
sent a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what.
That'd
I'm
be
gonna
my
do.
guess.
But they should put Zach Bell and Barber out there for something.
If they're gonna do
I thought
that.
I thought they had like I don't know. I saw like a thing like influencers going. Yeah, there's like ton of like.
I hope I'm not.
I think
on
they said
TV.
breakaway challenge. I think they said the breakaway challenge or something.
I'm just
I don't
gonna do
know.
a clap bomb. I'll
That would've
skate
been
into a clap
sick,
bomb,
man. Yeah.
And then when they ask, you're like, I thought it was the hardest shot comp.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else is doing backhands. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm going to print out the itinerary and review on the plane. This is the type of way. This is how I operate. I do not.
He doesn't operate.
I only know what I need
We're
to
present.
know. So right now, I know that I fly out later today. I don't know the exact time. I think it's 8 p.m. But like,
That's hilarious.
I will figure
I'm the
that
same
out.
way.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the same
I'm like,
way. We're
after this podcast, I'm like, I'm going to figure out when I need to be at the airport. Then I'm going to get all my stuff together. And then I'm going to print a list of what we're supposed to be actually doing. And then when we're on the plane, I'm going to go over that so I'm prepared. But like, I can't know that 3 or 4 days ago because there's too many other things that are happening that I need to know that day.
yeah.
Right.
like, this
So
is a
I just take
busy-
the information in as I need it. So
That's perfect. I like
Yeah.
that.
Run and gun.
run and gun.
Run and gun.
The seat of my
Hopefully we
pants.
see
Jeremy's
Jared on
just
the ice.
walking around like this.
Putting some goalies and
Pistols.
blenders. Hopefully we see you out there putting some tendies.
I should work on a move. Yeah. All right. Well, let's
drag release
wrap up the podcast just shy of 2 hours.
Wow.
I think that's
If
great.
you're sticking around this long,
Wow.
you guys are
You
real
are a
fans.
puck.
You are a
You're puck
legend.
daddies.
Yes.
Thank you for
Certified.
listening. You guys are the best. We couldn't do this without all you guys.
Yeah, keep
We
tuning
probably
in.
still would because we like it, but we enjoy that you guys are listening.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
And leave a comment down below if you listen to the very end.
Oh yeah.
A certain
Little-
comment.
Put
Yeah.
a little emoji like
Say
a fist
say
bump.
just say that's it, Bedsy at the bottom.
That
Just,
one, yeah, that one might be a comment anyway.
oh
though.
yeah, true, yeah.
I'd say put a crown emoji.
Oh, yeah, crown emoji.
Crown emoji. Crown
There we-
emoji.
Crown
Yeah, that's
emoji.
perfect.
Listen to the end.
Beautiful. All right,
Cheers.
thanks, guys.
Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Beautiful.
Gonna change the world with my hockey stick. Gonna make a real difference. Feed the poor and heal the sick.
Peace.